Introducing PubCoin. PubCoin is the rewards program for pub sports contributors. Regular chat contributors share their play of the day, POD, in the YouTube chat, including the phrase POD in their message. At the end of the week, the amount of units earned are converted into PubCoins. PubCoin can be used as reward points for prizes, shop discounts, and contests.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's Mills here, Pub Sports Radio. Do you guys want to challenge the personalities here at Pub Sports Radio? Do you guys think you're better than them at entering in your MMA predictions and picks? Would you want to get paid for it? $100? Here's how you do it, man. You sign up right here at the link below. It's just this easy. PubSportsRadio.com. Enter your email, pick your weekly picks. That's it. Oh, and you get bonus points if you can predict how they're going to win in what round. Every single week, a new winner's getting crowned. So every Saturday on Pub Sports Radio. So come on and check us out. You can win $100 just for signing up. Only thing you need to do is see if you can beat us here at Pub Sports Radio by entering your UFC predictions and picks weekly. Do it. I dare you. See you guys.
Your membership to gold, you will be automatically entered in every horse race every Wednesday and Friday.
A lot of names, a lot of familiar faces, and another chance for $50 to sign up for PSR Gold. It's going to be a lot of fun. Why wouldn't you want to be on this list, huh? Frank, that's a great question. Does AI determine the winner? No, Frank. The fastest horse does. So shout out to everyone that's a member. We appreciate you guys. We let our horses run forever. 2.5 hours. Hey, we're racing. It's Antonio. Here we go.
And they are off.
You know I'm not winning this. My horse ain't like this.
And here comes Big Show, who says 2 minutes is too long. Big Show wants this race to end right now. Going to be moving into the stretch soon. K-Wolf up front. Saturated making a move. And there's nasty motherfucking Nate. Director 97. And he should have been 40. Director 97. $100. Team wanting all the money.
Oh my God, Director!
And it's Director 97. Back.
Oh my God!
Fresh, take it home! We're 6-5-4! Oh God! Saturated! Friedrich gonna come home with it! Is it Billy Friedrich's time? Is it his time? No, it's not! Cody Norton making is doing the fight with his wife! Doing the fight! How dare you throw his down? Does Coin have enough space to get home? Or will Daby take care of business? Here comes the show! A third win for Director 97.
But Connor Mack takes out. He might be blowing his load a little bit too early. Is anybody? The contestant, here comes Iron Eagle out of nowhere. Iron Eagle.
It's a packed race. 5 seconds. Bristol from the back. Bristol. The family wants that.
Get 'em, Jimmy, where low shack at? The bottle's getting empty, up the cracking, we stacking. Chips, all of this, what I want, plus money winners, that's what I'm on. You can say I'm gone, I prefer elevated Pub Sports Radio. Time to get educated, who get produced, fade the juice, let loose with so much abuse that the bookies wanna call the truth. They get slaughtered, can't forget Jeff and Low Baggers in the chat. That's a little weapon, cause we need, oh yeah, pubbing. We be pubbing!
What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Happy Thursday, June 20th to all of you. Thank you for watching Betting with the Bag right here on Pub Sports Radio. We have a stacked show, a packed show on day 9 of COVID. And feel like I cough all night, but I broke through. I feel a little better today. Maybe it's just all the action that we have popping off, afternoon action. We have so much going on this show, and you know what? I need it. I want a day full of action and a day full of winners. Shout out to all the cappers rocking with us on this Thursday. We got Coogee Cam, Swiggy in the house, Justin McKelvey. Stacks play of the day has hit 10 straight, baby. 10 straight for Justin McKelvey. And he's on the Yankees team total over 4.5 stacks. Has hit 10 straight. Count them up, baby. 10 in a row. 10 in a row. We have an absolutely packed show. We have, first off, well, let me before I talk about how excited I am about the show, because we'll just get it rolling right off the hop. Let me give you guys more shouts out. But let me get Stacks play of the day ready to go before the Orioles, Yankees, Cole Irvin, Luis Heel. A breakdown. We got Joe T. Play of the day is Astros, White Sox over 9. Of course, Flexen, Andrighetti. You know, they are having terrible seasons. So I get it. I get why the numbers would push that. TJ's also on that game. Looking forward to talk about that one. We got Rocco Rogers, Swiggy, Tori Coker. Swiggy talking about the $100 UFC contest. Pub Sports Radio. It's in our chat right there. Also, you must check out the Locker Room podcast, our brand new UFC show starring Brizzy, Millsy, Big Show, and 2 Cents. It's popping off. It's the trajectory of this show is incredible. It's just huge numbers for a show that's in its infancy. And we're really proud of it. So check it out. It's on our homepage on Pub Sports Radio YouTube homepage right now. Wine Time Sports in the house. Markel ready to get to work. Morgan Spooner loading up on the Cards versus Win. Yes, Keaton Win. 5 units between Goldschmidt, Gorman, and Burleson. Home run props, hits, runs, RBIs. There are a lot of young pitchers throwing today with very suspect statistics. And how are we going to handle all that? That is the question. So that's the Keaton win. And also that Keaton win, Andre Palante start, that's at Rickwood Field in Birmingham, Alabama. Jose, I'd like to plant the seed. Can you have all the dimensions ready for that ballpark for us? That is Rickwood Field.
Our guy Morgan Spooner already put him in the chat there. Shout out to you, Morgan.
Oh, there we go. You're right. 325 to left, 393 to center. I was 2 comments away from that. Morgan calls it today's publicity stunt, but I think we need to celebrate all of the baseball players that, were held out of Major League Baseball and the fields that they played on and the statistics that they created. So I like it. So let's get that perfect. That's Rickwood Field here in Birmingham, Alabama. Let's get those here. And thank you, Morgan, for sharing the dimensions here. Get that right there. All right, there we go. Slatsy, CFL Red Blacks versus Alouettes. Al's home opener sold out. First game back after winning the Grey Cup. Banner will be raised first half, and that's an under 24.5. I know he doesn't have the U there. Under 24.5, and he's got a 6-point teaser with the Al's money line in the under 54. I'll tell you right before we get into all of this. So I am with Slatsy. Now Slatsy got in early. It didn't really affect. It cost me a tiny bit of vig. I got the minus 115 on the first half. Under is minus 115 at Pinnacle, minus 120 over at Bet365. And there are 2 spots on today's card that I have not bet that I'm close to. Now, I have bet the CFL and NHL games, and I bet MLB. I'm only on 1 game. I've doubled up on it, and there's other stuff I want to move on. I came very close to joining TJ on his action in Oakland, and I may still get there, but I didn't. So, but there's lots to talk about. There's so much action across multi-sports. Gerald Jones in the house. Best bet for Gerald Jones, Minnesota Twins. First 5 minus a half. We talking about the importance of the market or the cappers who don't care about the market. And of course, you have complete autonomy in how you cap. All that matters is that you win. But my goodness, Cole Raggins, who wouldn't have been on the Royals yesterday if the market didn't show us that, they were opening up their arms at that number to Kansas City Royals cash? I mean, I would have. I would have. There's no doubt in my mind I would have been on that had we not heeded the market's sage advice. Now, if we really heeded it, we would have been on the A's, which I wasn't. Red Girl ready to go. Kuji Cam, Frank Ritako, great casher yesterday with the Aces. We're going to talk about WNBA right off the hop because we have a game in WNBA popping off in 52 minutes, and we've got an announcement in WNBA. B. Lee in the house, NJ Striker. We got Tori Coker, my dude. I'm that heat saturated. Yes, I can't wait to talk hockey. I can't wait to talk all these sports. I'm pumped up. I have a cough, and that's about it. Joseph Gomez says public disaster. Too much money on Argentina. Canada versus Argentina tie plus 450. New coach Jonathan David to score. That's really interesting. Joseph Gomez. They're offering us a little bonus. 365 if we put SGP, and I was figuring out what I would do, and mine was going at, and I didn't put it in. But mine would have been, I wanted to sit and think on it a little bit, but tie first 10 minutes, tie first half, Argentina win. That's how I was going to handle it, but we'll talk about it. Kuji Cam says birthday is tomorrow. I feel a great day coming today. I love it. Al Cervic working on his NFL team profiles while I listen to the man with the plan. We got a lot of cappers here with plans. Kong's clips. Great to see all you guys. G Martinez. Yes, we have a WNBA game popping off in 51 minutes. Al Cervic says UPS man here to deliver. Yes, got my all brown wardrobe on today. Got Pryor on my chest and the Padres on my hat. Crochet over 6.5 strikeouts was an easy cash. So was Hunter Brown being the better pitcher. Now I didn't take Astros first 5. I was so afraid of Crochet, but we cashed the first 5 under, and it was not a good day in MLB. 1-3 in MLB. The Phillies -1 was a juicy loss that didn't need to happen. Also, BJ warned me, saying it was too public, and I still went with it. Tori Coker says going to drop a bag on the Panthers money line. Okay, so let's roll. So a couple things here. Okay, Joseph likes it. Okay, so that's the first 10 minutes tie, a first half tie, and Argentina to win the game, and that pays out like plus 375 or 80. But Joseph Gomez, I could also add under 4 to get that at plus 600. I could also get it to plus 800 with under 3. Obviously, if we're taking the tie, that means it's 0-0 at the half, because I don't think it'll be 1-1 at the half. I'd like to know what you think of that, my man. Okay, so here we go. There's a couple things here. My dude says Twins screwed you yesterday. Again, I would have been all over Joe Ryan, but the market took us off Joe Ryan. Now it didn't get me on the Rays. I had a chance to live bet them. I live bet the Yankees in the bottom after the Verdugo beautiful catch, and I live bet the Yankees to get the Kimbrel, and they did. And then Cedric Mullins happened. God, that guy is just a 5-tool player and got me right in the old drink hole. Okay, so and look at that. Justin McKelvey says, me and Kuji need birthday picks tomorrow. I love it. Kuji Cam and Justin McKelvey celebrating their birthday. Okay, so here, to start things off, I really want to, and the one I'm closer than the other. I'm very interested. I really want to move on the Alouettes. I have a bet on that game, but I really want to move on the Alouettes. I think it's like week 2 in the NFL. People are overdoing what the Red Blacks did with the hour and a half rain delay against the Bombers, and they were at home. Another thing is, I still haven't gotten on the Oilers yet. I still haven't got there. And maybe I do after our breakdown today, but I still haven't got there yet. So those are the first 2 things. The second thing is we have an exciting announcement. That announcement is our first guest who is coming off sweeping the board in WNBA yesterday has agreed to join us Wednesday, Thursday, and Fridays for WNBA. Our guy, Wednesday, Thursday, and Fridays, fresh off board sweepage. Please welcome South Jersey in the house, Billy Brisbane joining. Brizzy, what's good, man? How are you?
Doing good, man. A little bit personal life, a little bit sore. Played basketball the other fucking day in men's league game and shit, dude. I can't even walk around the fucking house.
Yes, things change. Things change in a hurry as we age. Swiggy says that he tailed Billy's WNBA action yesterday. Rod Zwack says Ottawa 12-2 against the spread last 14 trips into Montreal. Yeah, but do you trust Bob Dice? And we're going to talk all about that here the guys coming in from Canadian college football, right? That's where they found Bob Dice. Everyone loves Bob Dice as a man. What about as a coach? We'll get into that. But first off, Brizzy, you swept the board, and we want to begin the show by thanking you for joining us now as we move forward Wednesday, Thursdays, and Fridays. It means a lot to us and everybody in the chat. You're just delivering winners nonstop. And so first off, thank you, my man.
Thank you, man. We got the Olympic break coming up, so we got to make as much money as we can before these females go off to the Olympics, and then we don't have, I think it's going to be like 3 to 4 weeks. We're not going to be able to bet on them.
Yes, so we've got to take advantage now, and you did exactly that. So we have a WNBA game popping off in 46 minutes. Wintrust Arena in Chicago, Illinois. We have the Dallas Wings 3-10, 2-5 on the road. The Chicago Sky 4-9, 1-5 at home. Let's get into the line history here for this one and hear what our WNBA expert Wednesday through Friday has planned fresh off of board a sweepage. We're going to use Bet Online openers. If you are looking for a new account and you have never opened one at Bet Online, do it. It's a great book. And we also have a great code. If you go through our website and use Pub Sports, they will give you 100% bonus up to $1,000. And it doesn't have to be Bitcoin. Wherever that was a deal that we made with them. Everywhere else you see it has to be Bitcoin, not us. We have right now the Chicago Sky sitting at -6.5. This has been a huge move. Brizzy, this came out on Tuesday night at 9:34 p.m. -3. Within an hour, it was 3.5. An hour after that, it was 4. An hour after that, it was 4.5. This just kept moving and has continued to do so. 3.5 points of movement towards the Sky. And then on the total here, we're sitting with a 161. This opened up at 162.5. It's bounced all over the place. It went down to 160, back up to 161.5, then back down to 159.5. Up to 161. We have a 1.5 point move towards the under. And we do get to know where the cash lies. And there's 3,180 tickets in for this morning game. We have no information on the late game, but on the morning game, we have some information. We know that 48% of the tickets are on the Dallas Wings, despite this 3.5 point move towards the Sky. We don't know the percentage of cash, but we know that 48% of tickets are on the Wings. We also know that 62% of the tickets and 71% cash is on the over. Brizzy, the floor is yours, my man. Wings, Sky.
Yeah, this roster that you're seeing from the Dallas Wings, it tells you everything you need to know of why the spread has moved. Damn near the whole entire starting five is out. Jaylen Brown, Enrique Gubawale, I think that she's going to miss. She's listed as questionable, but this line's going up to 6.5 for a team that's on a 4-game losing streak. Probably tells me he's probably going to be out. Satu's already out. Maddie Segrist in the last game, she ended up fucking up her finger. RIP, man. Maddie Segrist is getting us to some money. Villanova's all-time leading point scorer for women's basketball. She isn't going to be out here for this one. The usage rate is just going to have to trickle down to everybody else. And one of the most interesting stories coming into the WNBA season was Monique Billings not being re-signed to the Atlanta Dream. And you look how their roster's been looking this year. They look very mid. And she was on the training camp roster for the LA Sparks. And she got cut from the team, and she didn't know where to go. Dallas ended up giving her a call, and now look at her now. She's been really playing really good basketball at a high level right now. In the last game with all those injuries, she led the team in rebounds and assists and second in points. We'll get into it a little bit more, but let's talk about Chicago. Chicago changed up their starting lineup in their last game against the Fever. Their coach finally had enough of Dana Evans and Diamond DeShields. They both went to the bench. And Lindsey Allen and Kennedy Carter, man. Kennedy Carter's a fucking bucket. Went out there against Caitlin Clark in that last game, and she was definitely showing out. But the real story in this game is going to be Marina Mabry facing off her old Dallas squad. She played majority of her career in Dallas. Up until last season, and the first 2 games versus Dallas this season, she's notched 16 and 17 field goals attempted, which is way higher than her regular rate for the rest of the season. So she's got a little bit of, I guess, a little bit of hurt in her heart for not playing for Dallas anymore. But I got to go to the well. Fuck the side, fuck the total. We got to go straight to the player props. When it comes to the side, I guess you would lay it with the Chicago Sky, but I mean, laying 6 points with a team that's on a 4-game losing streak, you're not only asking them to win, but you're asking them to win by margin. Kind of don't want to go there. I kind of lean towards the under 161.5, but the best play in this game's got to be Monique Billings over 23.5 points, rebounds, and assists at -150. You're like, ooh, -150. It's a little bit juicy. This shit shouldn't be 23.5. She almost had a triple-double last game. With all those people out of the lineup last game, she had 15 points, 10 rebounds, and 9 assists. And for a lot of people that don't watch the WNBA, if you don't know the Dallas Wings head coach, she is WNBA version of Tom Thibodeau. She's going to play the starters as many minutes as they can handle. I mean, Monique Billings, I couldn't tell you the last time that she hasn't played 35-plus minutes. She's just playing the whole entire game. She's going to be the number one option in this one. And Camila Cardoso, I don't know if you ever see Camila Cardoso before, but the Brazilian Barbie is a big-ass fucking girl. She's about 6'7", 6'8". She was South Carolina's player of the year, national championship winner. And I think that she's going to be able to kind of lock down Tierra McCowan. We've been cashing on a couple Tierra McCowan props, but a lot of Tierra McCowan's game is predicate on her strength against other players. And I don't think she's going to be stronger than Camila Cardoso, and I don't think she's going to be faster than Camila Cardoso. So that leaves Angel Reese on Monique Billings. And I love me some Angel Reese. Been cashing on Angel Reese props. I almost wanted to go back to the well. Her double-double prop today sitting at -115. And the reason why I love betting on Angel Reese is because, like, she cares about her stats. Like, she'll go out there and be like, I only need 2 more rebounds. I know I need this double-double. I'm beating this bitch, Caitlin Clark, for Rookie of the Year. So I always like betting on Angel Reese's props, but I couldn't go to her today. I think that she's going to get this vet lesson from Monique Billings. Monique Billings is about to go to work on her over PRA, 23.5. That shit should be 28.5, somewhere in the low 30s. I mean, girls almost coming off a triple-double. There's some value left in the market, and I only think they do 0.2 rebounds and assists at bet 365.
And if you wanted, you could bring the VIG down with Sky Moneyline and an SGP with that.
There's just certain things in principle that is just betting philosophies for basketball for me. And I cannot lay 6.5 points with a team on a 4-game losing streak and doesn't play. I don't know who's going to score. Like, it's like everybody could score, but Marina Mabry, I feel like if you're going to do a same game parlay, I would do a same game parlay with Marina Mabry's points with the Chicago Sky or Kennedy Carter's points with the Chicago Sky. But I think Dallas is live here. Quote from Monique Billings after the last game, she said, quote unquote, I'm keeping the faith in the locker room. Our locker room still believes we're not defeated. We're going to show out. So they covered the last spread. This could be one of those spots where you see the team not have their star players and everybody else steps up. Maddie Seacrest was a big important part of that team. She was damn near most improved player of the year candidate this year. So I think Monique Billings is going to get the locker room together. They're going to get up for this one. This is an afternoon game, camp day. But I do think there's merit to playing the under 161. I would play the Chicago Sky in the under. Like, if the Sky are going to win this game, they're going to have to play defense. Dallas is just, as much as I want to go to the window with Dallas, it's just, man, we'll get opportunities to bet Dallas. It's just not today. They play their next 2 games are against the Washington Mystics, and they're probably going to win one of those 2 games at home.
Let's dance. Looking at Wings first quarter. I'm at Heat like in the Reese double-double. Kong's Clips has a question before we move on. This game, again, tips off in 38 minutes at Wintrust Arena, Chicago, Illinois. Kong's Clip says, I only have the points and rebounds at 22.5. Points and rebounds only at 22.5. Would you play that?
I would play the points at that point because I feel like a lot of the PRA is going to be predicate on the point prop, but I feel like the bookies haven't adjusted for her assist prop. If you look at her season averages, you're seeing 1, 2, 3. But when she's the number one option, she's coming off a game with 9 assists. That's a pretty high usage rating. 9 assists. I mean, I can't have off the top of my head. I think it was like 14 potential assists. So those are shots that they're missing. I think the edge is in the points and the assist for the PRA. The rebounds are kind of like the added addition. I would play the points.
That is Wings Sky popping off in 38 minutes. We have Monique Billins over 23.5 points, rebound, and assist, the minus 150. That's available at Bet365. We have a night game. Let's hammer it quick here, Brizzy. 7 p.m. Eastern. We have Los Angeles Sparks 4-11, 3-4 at home at New York Liberty, 12-3, 6-1 at home. Oh, 4-3 on the road. Sorry. I hope I didn't screw that up. I got to double check that I screwed that. New York Liberty 12-3, 6-1 at home at Barclays Center. This total is sitting at 165.5. This has come up from 162.5. It's climbing as we speak. It's been climbing within the last hour. 165.5. There are 166.5s out there already. Bookmaker has that 166.5 juice to the over, so it's just climbing and climbing. On the spread here, we have the Liberty as 15.5 point favorites. They opened up as 14-point favorites, now sitting at 15.5 point favorites. Just huge favorites. And when we get to the cash flow, we get no help from the Action Network. Take it away, Brizzy. Sparks Liberty.
Yeah, I'll be quick with this one. Cameron Brink tore her ACL in the last game. I think there's going to be an adjustment time period. This is the first half of a 2-game homestand for the New York Liberty against the LA Sparks. So these two teams play again this weekend. I think the edge to be had in those matchups is in the first quarter, especially for a team that had Cameron Brink in there, and she was a big part of the starting lineup. So now you're making bench players have to play starter minutes, and Lee Veru, I don't know if she's going to start. They're going to start Talbot, but there's going to be an adjustment period. Maybe the Sparks come back, the backdoor cover this line, but I think the New York Liberty coming off that beat down loss against the Mercury to end out their road trip last time, I think they're going to have some vengeance in their heart. I think they're going to come out from the start, one of the best first quarter teams in the WNBA. So we're on the New York Liberty first quarter minus 4.5 at minus 130 at FanDuel. You can get 5. I mean, 5 is minus 110. It's the same shit, to be honest with you. I just feel more comfortable with the 4.5. You can get 4.5 at Bet365 and FanDuel.
Locked and loaded. Also, spreadsheet play of the day, spreadsheet dog play of the day is in from our Ron Crawford. Brizzy has spoken, and now we get Brizzy Wednesday, Thursdays, and Fridays here on Betting with the Bag. Fresh off board sweepage yesterday. He went 3-0. Today, he's on Monique Billings, over 23.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Again, that game pops off in 35 minutes. And at night, he's on Liberty, first quarter, minus 4.5. And please check out the Locker Room podcast. It's blowing up. The trajectory is something we haven't seen here on the channel. It's a must watch, and I love that it's being supported by many cappers in the MMA industry. Check it out. It's up right now, and they're coming off back-to-back monster weeks. That's starring, of course, Brizzy, Big Show, Millsy, and 2 Cents. Brizzy, and follow Brizzy on X at getting_bills_. Brizzy, any last words for the cappers supporting the show?
Yeah, make sure you follow me over on X. We got the Locker Room podcast popping off. Make sure you guys stay tuned to that. And later on tonight, I am on with Monk M.A. Maddox, and it's me, him, Uncle Weezy, and whoever Couch Warrior is. And it's bankroll or bust, basically like a Jeopardy style type of game where you have to pick a bunch of stuff for this weekend. So follow me over on X. I'll retweet it. You can follow it. WNBA action is popping off this weekend. We got fucking UFC, PFL. It's a long weekend ahead, but that's why you got to stay tapped in, because you don't want to be betting on the parlay shooters. You just want to get a couple winners.
I love it. There he is, Billy Brisbane. Absolutely great work, Brizzy. We are off and rolling. WNBA play of the day for Ron Crawford, Chicago Sky, -6. Justin McKelvey looking at the Liberty team total over 22.5 in the first quarter. There's Nate Dogg 420 in the house. We are almost in the NHL breakdown with Mr. Gogster. We also have Kelly McInnes saying, missed yesterday's show. I was golfing. Did I keep my streak alive? Yes, Kelly McInnes. Your name was not mentioned in the horse race once. So you're safe, buddy. You are safe. All right, let's roll into CFL. I'm sitting here 5-5 in CFL. It was 30-20 for the Ticats with 7 minutes to go in the fourth quarter of that football game, and they lost in regulation. The capping has been sound. And going 2-2 yesterday. Now, another big thing was that the Stampeders covered the 9.5 that I bet on Monday. I know a bunch of you guys moved on it at 8 or 8.5 on Thursday. These points are so important. They're so important, and I really do believe that if you're getting over a point worse, then you got to let it go. Because I felt awful that I cashed and a lot of my friends and colleagues didn't. So those two things there. Let's roll into our first game. So Slatsy says this. He says this is the Owls home opener, sold out in the first game back home after winning the Grey Cup. Banner will be raised. He's on the first half under 24.5 at -120. He's got a 6-point teaser. Alouettes money line in under 54. Everywhere you look, cappers are on one of two bets. They're on the under or they're on the Red Blacks. And I really believe that there is the same thing that happens in week 2 in the NFL. People are putting too much into what the Red Blacks did at home, with Drew Brown at quarterback. I really believe that. The hour and a half thunderstorm stoppage in that game helped the Red Blacks. And also the full game under cashed for the Alouettes Elks in the first half didn't. I really like the first half under after the banner being raised. And there is a real feeling in Montreal that they're being disrespected by the league. We know that Dequoy thinks that the French-Canadian players on the team are being disrespected, that the French language is being disrespected. Moss and the coaching staff believe that a Grey Cup champion should not have to start the season with 2 games on the road. I feel like there is, if you look at the edges and the angles, we heard from Rod Zawacki. Rod Zawacki loving the under 47.5. Rod Zawacki talking about what Ottawa does when they travel to Montreal. They cover. They cover and cover and cover and cover. Earl Sports bets on Ottawa, Bobano on Ottawa. I think that the Alouettes are a powder keg that could erupt here. And that everybody being on the Red Blacks, this is the first time I've seen anyone on Montreal. I'm that heat. Now, Nate Dogg, I guess, using it as a parlay piece, using the money line. Let's Dance on the Alouettes -6. You guys are the first people I've seen on Montreal. And I'm not there yet. I'm going to get there. After talking this out, I'm going to get there. We're not going to take too much time on this spot, but let's roll into it right now. Bet Online opening lines. Bet Online opened this very early with Montreal -9. -9. This was opened up days before other books. So this was on the 15th at 6:23 p.m. So on Saturday night at 6:23 p.m., Bet Online opened this up at 9. So it's come all the way down. It got down to 6, and then it bounced up to 6.5. So it's come all the way down. So that was on Saturday. Let's just take a look at what Pinnacle did. Pinnacle didn't open this up until Monday. They put out their lines Monday morning. And on Monday morning, they opened this up at a 7, and it went 6.5. And again, you guys are the first people that I've seen on Ottawa. Remember that Calgary-Hamilton game 1. Every single article, everybody was on Hamilton, and it made no sense whatsoever to me. I'm starting to feel a similar thing here. Let's talk about the total here. Rod Zawacki loving the under. A lot of articles written on the under. It's at 47.5 at -110, and it hasn't moved. That's a bit of a surprise. Ron Crawford says he's got Montreal by 7, and it's too close. Slatsy says Moss says motivation is the highest he has seen since he became coach. Us against them mentality. Rod Zawacki says Ottawa can run the ball, and that's where I think Montreal's weak. That's why I like Ottawa on the under. Let's touch on that. We think that Ottawa can run the ball because Reichel Armstead ran 16 times for 95 yards. The whole base of Chris Jones' defense was, to stop Tyson Philpott. Everything was about stopping Philpott. Philpott was going to hurt them. So they double Philpott, who's held to 5 catches for 49 yards. And what happens? Walter Fletcher runs 12 times for 82 yards and a touchdown, catches 3 passes for 61 yards. Do I think that Montreal is going to do whatever they can, to stop a wide receiver on the Red Blacks? What, Justin Hardy, because he caught 7 passes for 111 yards. Now we know what Dominique Grimes did, and we know what he did for the BC Lions. So that's why I think Armstead went off, because Chris Jones was sort of letting him. Sorry, that's the wrong way of breaking this down, because, of course, the Bombers game. That's why Walter Fletcher went off, was because Walter Fletcher went off against the Elks because Chris Jones was letting him. So I don't think that Rykel Armstead is going to put up the numbers that he put up here against Montreal. That's my thinking here. So here we go. So we have Ottawa over a long period of time beating and coming into Montreal and covering. Montreal destroyed Ottawa last year. Now we can put a line through that. They won all 4 meetings by an average of almost 13 points a game. We can put a line through that because of Drew Brown, can we? Because Bob Dice is a problem in Ottawa. It's Bob Dice that's the problem. So the Red Blacks come in off this impressive 23-19 win that I think all the Cappers are putting too much into. Montreal comes in off its second consecutive road victory. They barely beat Edmonton 23-20. We know how tough it is with 2 straight road games, then 2 straight road games to start the year. I think this is a powder keg about to pop. For Fajardo, he went 20 for 30 for 269 yards and 2 touchdowns. He also ran for 27 yards. He is completely in control right now. And I just think that Walter Fletcher, Julian Grant, and then Tyson Philpott will take care of business. The under is 6-1 in Montreal's last 7 games against the East. I think this could get broken open in a sold-out Percival Molson Memorial Stadium in Montreal, Quebec. So the more I'm talking about this, the more I obviously think if I'm going to go up against, Cappers who I respect, Rod, Earl, Bobano, then I've got to put my money where my mouth is. I can't just talk about it. So I'm going to have to double up on the Alouettes here. That's the only way I see that. So I'm definitely going to be on the full game minus 6.5 or 6, depending on what I get. And the question is, do I have to add the first half? First half here. Rod Zwacky saying, talking about the defense for Ottawa, shutting down the CFL rush leader in week 1. It's 1 week of football where they were aided by an hour and a half thunderstorm break. Now, let me also say that I absolutely love hearing what Rod Zwacky and Slatsy and Earl and Bobano are on. They're phenomenal cappers. You should listen to what Rod is on, trust it. But I think there's an overemphasis on what happened last week. Everybody saw the Alouettes barely get past an Elks team, that everybody has a vividness bias of them being terrible. Everybody saw the Red Blacks in their home opener with their new quarterback beat the preseason favorite for the Grey Cup. So I'm going to have to move on the Alouettes here. First half and full game, I guess. Okay. Top Crocodile says everyone saw Montreal win their first 2 games. Yeah, it was not very impressive. So it was extremely, the win in week 2, they didn't come close to covering. So winning 2 games on the road, when usually the Grey Cup champion gets to have that home opener at home to start off the year, we'll see it. We'll see. But Top Crocodile, I'm using what everybody saw to my advantage. I think the recency bias would take everybody to bet the Red Blacks. So there you go. I'm already on the first half under 24.5. I don't want to double up necessarily, but I feel like I'm forced to, just because you can't say these things and not back it up with bets. Win or lose, you have to do that. I believe that's what makes people care about shows. It's one thing to say it, and it's another thing to bet it. Respect to all of those CFL cappers here, and it's going to be a big game tonight. 7:30 p.m. Eastern. I'm with Slatsy on that first half under 24.5, and I have a feeling. I have a feeling like the Alouettes put everybody on notice tonight. Okay, that is our CFL spot. It is time to get into NHL. Jose, can you get our guy Gogster ready for NHL? And he is ready. Speak of it, and he appears. Please welcome from Belleville, Ontario. It is time to talk Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Finals. Please welcome our friend, Mr. Gogster, to the show. Gogster, how are you?
How you doing?
Good, my man. How are you?
Oh, not too bad. Can you guys hear the air conditioner? Are we good?
You are good.
Right.
It sounds good to me. All right, let's get to work. Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Finals. And I have moved on 2 bets with confidence. The question is, do I add the Edmonton Oilers? I was first thinking of taking them to win the series at plus 275 because I already have the Panthers to win Game 1 in the series, and I have futures on both 9-1 for the Oilers, 10-1 for the Panthers. That was the plan. I was going to take the Oilers plus 275, and then I thought, I don't know if that makes that much sense. I could just bet them in Game 6 to win, and then bet them again in Game 7. If I do that at both the same price and the Panthers win Game 7, I'll only lose just a tiny bit of vig instead of losing my bet. I just want to say that out loud, and I'd like to hear what you guys think should be the plan here. We have Sergei Bobrovsky going up against Stuart Skinner. I'm going to set the game up, and then I'm going to tell you my move at the end of it. Rod Zawacki says Edmonton 12-0 at home versus teams on losing streaks. And another thing for you guys who are on the Oilers, I know Mikey Money, Rod Zawacki, Nate Dogg 420, watching you guys, but watching you guys stick to your guns with the Oilers, I've been very impressed with. Very impressed with you cappers who have stuck to your guns, betting the Oilers. Nate Dogg says Edmonton money line, lean over 5.5, McDavid, Hyman, and Draisaitl to score. So Stuart Skinner and Bobrovsky. Stuart Skinner, if you look at his numbers throughout the playoffs, they're not very good. 13-8, 2.54 goals against average, 8.98 save percentage, 1 shutout. That does not tell the Stuart Skinner story because he's been a monster in the most important games. In games 4 to 7 of this year's playoffs, he's 9-0 with a 1.56 goals against average and a 9.36 save percentage. That's phenomenal. In elimination games this year, he's 4-0 with a 1.75 goals against average and 9.28 save percentage. So he's got a ton of confidence. Bobrovsky, on the other hand, has had the opposite. Not that he hasn't stepped up in the most important games. It's just that he started this series as the runaway favorite at one point minus 430 to win the Conn Smythe. Now he's the only Conn Smythe bet I made, plus 400, and now it's not going to happen. Bobrovsky has allowed 9 goals on 36 shots. That's a 6.54 goals against average and a 7.69 save percentage over the last 2 games. Now, he begun the first 3 games stopping 82 of 86 for a 1.33 goals against average and 9.53 save percentage and 1 shutout. So that's the goalie situation. Do you expect Bobrovsky to not buckle under the pressure? That's the question you have to ask yourself. And my answer to that question is it's not about Bobrovsky. And I'll expand on that here in a second. So the Oilers are just the 4th team to force a Game 6 after falling behind 3-0 in the Stanley Cup Final. The only team to come back and win was the 1942 Toronto Maple Leafs. Took out the Red Wings. What was the big difference in Game 5? Shout out to Sharpie. We're getting into MLB right after this, Sharpie, and can't wait to hear your thoughts. And Renmo says Edmonton wins Game 6. And Rod Zwacky says McDavid's taking his team on his back. McDavid wins Conn Smythe no matter what happens. He's got to score here. The Florida can't win this game 3-0 and McDavid win the Conn Smythe. They can't be completely shut down in Game 6. I know he's got 8 points in his last 2 games, but that's all. That's all. He's the favorite, the big favorite right now to win the Conn Smythe, and I get it. So what was the big difference in Game 5? Difference from Game 4? Game 4 and 5 were very, very different from each other. In Game 5, the Oilers scored 2 power play goals. None of the power plays had been able to work, and the Oilers' power play did. The other thing for the Oilers, and Rod Zwack talking about it, Connor McDavid's been absolutely spectacular. Best player in the league. He's showing it. The other part here is Connor Brown, Adam Henrique, and Matthias Janmark. What a line. Every team needs a line like this that can shut down and provide a spark and can get a goal. I mean, it's just this is how you win Stanley Cups, with a line like Connor Brown, Adam Henrique, and Matthias Janmark. Sports Money, Mikey Money says the Oilers have more multiple point scorers, more high probability goal chances, and amazing penalty kill. And McJesus, stop this Florida nonsense. Sounds like you guys are up 3-2 and about to win the Stanley Cup. Oh, no, you're not. The Panthers took 12 minor penalties in Game 4 and Game 5. That can be changed. That can be fixed. That can be changed. Then we have what happened in 5-on-5 in Game 5. And what happened in the final 2 periods. So in the final 2 periods, now you could say, yes, the Oilers were ahead. But in the final 2 periods, the Panthers outshot the Oilers 32-24. That was in the game. Sorry. In the final 2 periods, 26-14, and a 76-39 advantage in shot attempts. In the final 2 periods, it was a 57-24 advantage in shot attempts. Now, again, you could say, look, the Panthers are trying to get back in the game, and that's valid. 5-on-5, just 5-on-5, they outshot the Oilers 25-14 and had a 52-23 advantage in 5-on-5 shot attempts. So Florida has now been outscored 13-4 in the past 2 games. They allowed 7 goals on rush plays. In the very, very worst part about what was going on for the Panthers was allowing those goals on the rush. Then they allow no even strength goals on rush plays last game. They can clean these issues up, and they have been doing it. So Florida has gone 1 of 16 on the power play and has allowed 2 shorthanded goals. And that's what's got Edmonton Oilers back into the series. Top Crocodile says Edmonton was in defense mode to end the game. Yes, that's why I said that, Top Crocodile. So I think that Florida will play their tightest defensive hockey game, which we've seen them at work, and they've been able to shut down Edmonton. I'm on the first period under 1.5, and I'm on the full game under 5.5. When we look at the lines, the books are opening up their arms to anybody who wants to bet the over. And in the morning, 98% of the tickets and 98% of the cash was on the over. The line's not moving. On the money line here, you have the Oilers at minus 118. They opened up at minus 123. And on the total here, we are sitting here with a 5.5 at minus 113 at Pinnacle. This got up to minus 119 yesterday, and 6 cents of buyback. 6 cents of buyback when everybody and their mama is betting the over. So 72% of the tickets, 69% of the cash is on Edmonton, and 97% of tickets and 97% of cash is on the over. I have not decided what to do about betting the Oilers, and hearing Mike's confidence in the Oilers makes me not want to bet them and to stay strong with my thoughts that the Panthers are going to win the Stanley Cup. Now, I love Mikey Money, and I don't, and he just wants us to get paid. So I don't want the anger over, his confidence in the Oilers to, put me in a spot where I leave money on the table, which I might be doing. So let's hear what Mr. Gogster has to say. Again, I'm on the first period under 1.5 and the full game under 5.5. Mr. Gogster, take it away. Stanley Cup Final, Game 6. Floor is yours.
Great breakdown, Jimmy. Skinner, I'll start off with the goalies, guys. So Skinner, Bobrovsky, it's the power play. That's where they're not able to beat Skinner, as Jimmy was saying. They're 95%, 89% 5-on-5. really in this game, guys, let's just get to where the line combos. What's going on with the lines here? They're pulling Okposo. They're bringing in Belleville's. My buddy here, Nick Cousins.
Okay, yeah, Gogster, we're getting some feedback from the fan. Let's
Okay.
turn that fan off.
Just 1 sec.
Let's turn that fan off here. Yes, Andrew G. I heard about Linus Ullmark coming to the Senators. Ottawa's just a goaltender graveyard. Okay, take it away, Gogster.
Yeah, I thought that fan was going to affect things. But yeah, talk about the lines here, guys. Okposo is going to be out for one of my buddies here, Nick Cousins. He's going to be starting with Lomberg and Studland. And then what they're doing with their top two lines, Florida guys, they're going back to, I think, what they need to do. That's putting Verhaeghe with Barkov and Reinhart, and then bringing Bennett and Kachuk with Rodriguez, who's been their hottest player this playoffs, guys, or at least this series. He's +7 this series. So they're going to put him with Bennett and Kachuk on the second line, which with Verhaeghe, Bennett and Kachuk, guys, they were a -10. He was a -7 this series. So getting Verhaeghe back with Barkov and Reinhart, that's exactly what I want to see. That's what I took him for the most shots this series, because with Barkov and Reinhart, that's been his mainstay pretty much for a large part of the season. So having these lines kind of back to where they were, in my opinion, just giving them their best chance. The only line they're keeping is their third line with Listerine and Lundell and Tarasenko. They're a +4, which makes sense. They're getting rid of kind of what's been slowing them down, and then taking out of Okposo, bringing in Cousins, who's going to be doing a lot of net front presence. He's just a pest. He's kind of like Andrew Shaw, kind of like, not nearly as good, but another local guy. They're just going to be a net front presence. Just don't take too many stupid penalties. McDavid for Conn Smythe. Yeah, I wouldn't shy away from that. It just all depends, like you said, if they can score in this game. Ekblad was he's not out, guys, but he had some rest. He didn't skate this morning. He's still going to be going. They had Ekman Larson on the first line power play, but I think that's just for the practice. They need to. It's just Florida. It really depends on how this games are going to be called, because if Florida's going to slow down McDavid, they're going to be physical. They're going to need to bump him a little more. Like that goal he scored where he just swung right between the defense. No one touched him. So that this game really matters how the refs are calling it. If they're going to let this game play, which I think they are, so game 6 here, I think they're going to kind of not call as much. I think that favors Florida 5-on-5. Just looking at that last game too, Jim, you brought up second, third period. Florida was all over them, and expected goals 5-on-5 was a heavy favorite for Florida. So that's telling you Skinner had a really strong game. And then, like you said, everyone knows this number now too. I've been here 9-0 from games 4, 5, 6, and 7. Say what? But that's, I don't know how long that can hold up here. Bobrovsky too, he needs to have a better game. A lot of the weight, I wouldn't say is on Bobrovsky, but since he got pulled, allowing 4 goals, I think it was, he hasn't looked the same, but he can steal a game here. He's only, another issue though, sorry, I'm bouncing around, guys. Another issue with Florida is they've only had about 20 shots, 20 saves for Skinner in this series. That's not enough. Florida's got to start getting a little more pucks on net. I think dictate the games, clog up the center ice. Don't let McDavid, especially McDavid, skate. Like if you let him gain some speed, it's going to hurt them. The speed factor too, it's in Edmonton's favor. Once they start letting them go downhill, Florida's in trouble. Their defense, it's been proven the last couple of games. So they got to really slow down McDavid, I think, Jim, and they're going to have a really good chance here. But if the refs are going to start calling little ticky-tacky penalties, that's not good. That's not good for Florida. So a lot of this game, I think, dictates how the refs are calling it, but I expect the refs to kind of let some stuff go. So I do think, guys, I think Florida changing up their lines and whatnot here, this is a game they're going to lock in, I think. So and then what has Florida done, guys, in game 6s this year? 2-1 at home, series winner, 4-2. And then 2-1 win at Boston. That was a series as well. So they've won 2-1 twice, Jim. And I heard you talking about the under. It's tough for me to choose the over-under here just because the line change up here. I think Florida's going to put a really good foot forward here. So Florida on the money line, guys, +105. The team total over 2.5. If you look at Skinner, he's allowed Florida scored at least 3 goals in 4 or 5 games, except for that 8-1 game they lost. So Florida team total over 2.5, -126. Florida money line +105. And I'm taking Verhaeghe coming back on that top line. He's going to get a lot of shots on net, I think, this game, guys. He's been a ghost kind of this series. Expect him to have a really good showing. Verhaeghe over 2.5 at -161. Bit of juice there, but really confident in that one. And then I didn't play no goal in the first 9 minutes, 30 seconds. I had it in the QGM, but I think Florida, I'd be worried about Florida getting up. If Florida's, I really think it really dictates how this game's being called. If it's going to be a lot of 5-on-5, I think Florida's got the best chance here. If there's going to be a lot of penalties, it's going to be tight, and Edmonton has a chance to win this game. I like the plus money too on Florida. So there's 3 plays. One more, guys. Ekholm over 1.5 shots on goal, minus 160. Bit of juice, but Bouchard's had a lot of pepper on net. I think Ekholm is gonna. He's had 11 shots on goal, guys, in 5 games, so that's an average of at least 2. And when they're playing well, and when they have a good chance to win, Ekholm is shooting the puck a lot. So minus 160 just to get 2 shots for Ekholm at home, and yeah, it should be an unbelievable game tonight, guys. Bouchard bombs are a problem for Florida too. Bouchard is unbelievable at getting the puck on net. He's an accurate but powerful shot, exactly what you want from a D-man, in my opinion. But yeah, Florida's really got to Florida's got to just stop letting Edmonton getting so much speed and momentum. Make them dump the puck, make them kind of dump and chase. That's where I think Florida's got the advantage. Don't let them kind of skate, don't let them get momentum, and Florida's got a good chance to win this game, I think, Jimmy.
Wow, I am surprised. You are the only Canadian that isn't from Calgary that is on Florida, and it's very interesting. It's very, very interesting.
I don't feel like I'm forcing this either.
No, I hear you.
I think Edmonton has looked really, really good. They
have all the momentum, in the world.
They do, and that 3-0 lead there. I think Florida was playing kind of not nervous, but they weren't playing the same they were in the first 3 games, and I expect them to kind of go back to those first 3 games in this one, because if they lose this one, then yeah. I don't even want to think of that. I think Florida's got a good chance. It all depends, really, guys. I think if the refs are going to start calling these little ticky-tacky, depending obviously on the penalty, but they're going to have to slow down McDavid. That's clear as day. Because you look at Draisaitl, he has not been. You haven't heard a lot of Draisaitl, because in my opinion, he doesn't skate as well. Like he still has a good shot, knows where to be on the power play. He there you go. Yeah, he's hurt. He's a big guy, tough to get off the puck, but he's not skating. So if they can really slow down McDavid, who else is gonna lead this team right now? So it's really one player that is causing a lot of problems. He's named McJesus for a reason. He's nearly breaking, if not already broke, some of Gretzky's records too. So he's an unbelievable player, best player I've seen really in my generation. So it's just, they got to slow him down. They really just got to slow him down.
Yeah, I mean, the only way you slow him down is you hurt him. He's so confident right now. He's getting so fat. He feels like everyone else is in quicksand when he's out there.
Borderline, yeah.
Okay, so I don't know what to do with, and I could just stay off. I could just stay off the side or adding the. It's interesting. I've got to sit with your breakdown for a little bit. I can tell you though, Nate Dogg on the other side of me on the first period, Morgan Spooner also on the over, and look, I get it. I'm not surprised. 97% of the tickets, 97% of cash on the over. We've just seen 2 games soar over. It's in everybody's head. So I'm not surprised. I think that you're going to be surprised when you see somebody on the under. I'm on the under 5.5. I haven't seen anybody else on it. I'm on the first period under 1.5. You've seen people on that because the first period unders have scored. It's going to be phenomenal. Mr. Gogster has moved on Verhaeghe over 2.5 shots, Ekholm over 1.5 shots, Florida money line, Florida team total over 2.5. I'm on the first period under 1.5 and the full game under 5.5. Top Crocodile says Oil win tonight. They win the series. Benjamin Mills says scoring drops the longer the series goes. GH says harder to get matchups at home to get your guy on. McDavid says he doesn't agree with Gogster. Yes, but the team, we know that Edmonton's going to have last change and Knobloch can take advantage of that. But the team for the first time, and this is the only thing that I think can help the Panthers here. For the first time in this series, the Oilers are comfortable, and the Panthers have their backs against the wall and are angry and scared.
Exactly.
So, but I've still got to sit with this longer. I do agree, though, that it doesn't. I do now know, after saying it out loud, it doesn't make sense for me to take Edmonton to win the series at plus 275 unless I truly believe they're going to win the series. If it makes more sense, I think, to take the Oilers each game, game 6 and then game 7 again individually. But I don't know if I'm going to get there. First period under 1.5, full game under 5.5 for me. Mr. Gogster, excellent work. Rod Swag says Edmonton's not comfy. Sure, comfier.
You're hearing the presses about themselves too. They're hearing all the good stuff. Skinner's doing so good. You're doing so good. Everyone's giving the old pat on the back. Where before it was like, they're about to get swept as McDavid, And now it's the opposite. Just like you said, now Florida, they're saying, can Florida do it? Are they going to 3-0 loss? Florida's going to come in guns a-blazing, I think, here. So, yeah.
I cannot wait. And I love the confidence that the Oiler Cappers have. The Florida Panthers don't have that confidence. So.
No, and they're yeah.
It's a lot of fun. And those you guys, Mikey and Rod and Nate Dogg 420 that stuck by the Oilers, very, very impressed. And Top Crocodile says, "Look how confident the Oil fans are even in this chat." You're right. You're right. It's this is what you dream about when you're playing, ball hockey or on a frozen pond or whatever it is growing up. You dream about this type of situation. So it's going to be great fun.
And you know what, too? And if they do win, Cuzzy, he's from Belleville, so that cup will be coming here sometime probably in July. So kind of another reason why I want Florida to win. But
yeah. Okposo sitting on the bench is probably a good thing. There you have it. That is our NHL breakdown for Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Finals. Gogster, this will be the last time we see you this year. You've been great. Thank you for all that you've brought to the show, my friend, and can't wait to do it again next year. So thank you for all that you do for us, Mr. Gogster. Any last words for the Capper Sporting Show?
Treat us always, Jim, every Thursday. I look forward to it. Waking up, talk hockey with you guys, and then the insights going back and forth with everyone. Rod, Jay Peasy, Nate Dogg. Everyone throughout the year. It's been a treat, guys. Best of luck with your bets tomorrow. Guys, we got golf during the off season. I'll let you guys know what I'm doing. I got golf going on. So PGA, I'll always have some golf picks for you guys. Soccer too. I'm looking at the Euros. I was watching that Euro game, Serbia, Jim. I think it was the last second, literally got a header and tied that game against Slovenia. So I'll have some soccer stuff too, guys. It's kind of the off season until NHL, NFL get back up. Golf, soccer, and all the loose ends, I'll have them tied at Gogster 99 for you guys.
There you go. There he is, Mr. Gogster. WT says for Gogster that the Terramina Leche girls are with him and his picks. So he's in very good company. Very good company. They actually get more attractive as the night goes on. Nordy in the house. Jake Burns and Top Crocodile talking about McDavid Ginger. Yeah, a lot of people don't talk about it, but it's important to talk about. Get it out there. McDavid's a ginger. How many gingers have won Stanley Cups? Did Glenn Hanlon win the Stanley Cup? I guess Glenn Anderson. I guess you guys have. I guess the Oilers have a rich history of gingers holding the Stanley Cup over their head. All right, it's time to get into MLB. We have some real fun games here. We have best bets being fired away by Daby Cab and as well TJ. Time to roll. Please welcome the star of MLB programming here on Pub Sports Radio, coming to us from San Antonio, Texas, home of the Southtown 101. If you are in San Antonio, got to go to the Southtown for a beverage. And the COVID still wreaking havoc inside of me. But if it wasn't, I would just be dreaming about this Southtown right now. Please welcome our guy, Jose Bouquet. Jose, how are you?
I'm all right. It could be better, but we're going to keep battling. Long season, as always, but excited to see you, Jimmy, in your brown uniform.
Thank you. You have a light beam shining on you.
Yeah, I've been trying to figure that out. I know. It's because it's directly above my head.
Yeah.
here, so I might have to turn off that light here and then be in a little bit of darkness. Who knows? But yeah, no, yeah,
And you're wearing your glasses because of the
serious
struggle.
business.
Because of the struggle when you don't wear glasses.
Serious business. Yeah. Obviously, you guys saw me on Tuesday do a good job with Pete, Jimmy. Wore the glasses. No glasses yesterday. Got buried. Glasses today.
Let's roll. A lot of proud gingers, proud hockey playing gingers coming out in the.
Oh, by the way, we talked about this. I think on I forget what show it was, but there's a guy named Redbeard in our chat, I believe, who took offense to that. Yeah, don't be careful making fun of gingers here.
Oh yeah, they're Stanley Cup champions.
Yeah,
no one's making fun of them.
And who knows? Maybe another ginger's gonna soar to another level here soon.
Who are you implying there?
McDavid. Maybe he's gonna soar to greatness.
Remos is happy that you're wearing male sunglasses today, so you have made a big change.
Well, who knows? Maybe we'll switch that up as the day goes.
All right, let's get to work. We start at 1:05 p.m. Eastern. The Arizona Diamondbacks 36-38, 17-20 on the road at the Washington Nationals, 36-37, 17-18 at home, Nationals Park in Washington, D.C. Let's get into the weather here. And, is Finnegan the best closer in baseball right now?
No.
God,
no,
he
but
good.
He's nice. Yeah. The Nationals. I believe in the Nationals. I like half their starting rotation. They just need to find bats.
Their offense is so meek. There no crooked numbers. They have to really battle for any run they scored. 90 Fahrenheit, 91. It feels like 5.7 miles per hour to left field. This game starts in 56 minutes, or is this a 110? 105 start. So this game starts in 61 minutes. AOD says Gore gonna carve these mofos, and Ron Crawford is on Arizona. The spreadsheet dog play of the day, 16-11 plus 10.94 units is the Arizona Diamondbacks. And shout out to our friend Ron Crawford. We have Ryan Nelson versus Mackenzie Gore. Now, Ryan Nelson and Brandon Pfaadt are very good friends, and Pfaadt shoved yesterday. That's 2 straight starts of Pfaadt shoving, and I expect Ryan Nelson to follow suit. His last start, 6 innings, 6 hits, 1 run, 8 Ks, 1 walk, and a 7-1 win at home over the White Sox. The difference between the Nats and the White Sox against righties are minimal. White Sox are hitting .213 with a .619 OPS versus righties since May 15th, while the Nats are hitting .249 with a .652 OPS. So yes, the Nats are better, but minimally. Mackenzie Gore has been excellent this year. 6-5, 3.24 ERA, 1.32 WHIP, 91 Ks over 75 innings. He's coming off an excellent start at home over Miami. He's got the consecutive home starts. In that last start, 7 innings, 10 Ks, 1 walk. At home, he's not been great. That was his best start of the year at home. 283 opponents batting average, 3.80 ERA, 51 Ks over 47 and third, 16 walks, and 5 home runs. Sharpie says he expects Gore to shove today. Professor Chris says Nats yesterday, but he can't get there today. So here, more Beavis talk about that hot grandma of his, and he's got to watch it because there are some cappers here that have a thing for who's this?
You think
Jesus.
Yeah, I was about to say I finally got around to adding some more for you.
Well, hello. Good God.
There's more. Dude, go look.
My goodness. For the love of God. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
You're an oldie but goodie. We remember her.
Wow. I got to go back to this. I'm sorry. Jesus. Baby got back.
All
right.
God bless AI.
That was Beavis that did that. That was Beavis
That
who
was all
got us
purely Beavis. Yeah.
there. Good God. Nah,
Yep.
what's this show about again? I can't even remember.
Hold on. Is it about
Diamondbacks
this?
first
$10
left.
if you want to park.
Do it.
But Jose, how much did
Is that what this show's about?
No, not at all.
This?
Not
All
at
right.
all.
Jimmy, what do you say?
Where we want to see your toes.
That's valid. That's valid. I mean, who isn't interested? Who's interested? in
Yeah.
that?
Would you?
di-
I mean, this lady's toes probably look pretty nice, right?
Oh,
You know,
do you know
you-
how big her toes are? They're she's got size 11 feet for sure.
Hold on,
Oh,
let
good
me just.
God. Okay,
You're not
let's get back to
interested?
it. Let's get back. Oh, I find myself interested right away. But let's get back to work. Let's get back to work here. Diamondbacks first lefties, 239, 677 OPS. The bullpens haven't been very good, but they do have nice pieces. And we know that from the Diamondbacks bullpen from their run last year. 4.35 ERA since May 15th, 1.42 whip have not been very good. Nats bullpen, 4.37 ERA, 1.16 whip. Yes, Saturated nailed his bulbous toes for sure. Just
That's good shit right there.
real muscular toes there.
That's good shit. Saturated.
Okay, I've doubled up on this baseball game, and the additions will be coming after this. So I'm on the first 5 under. I didn't get the 5. I got the 4.5, and I'm on the full game under 9 here on a travel day starting at 1:05 p.m., which is early in the morning for the Arizona players. Let's go over the line history. This is sitting with Nationals at minus 137. That tells me that Ron Crawford's bet is live. That tells me that Ryan Nelson's going to pitch well today. That doesn't tell me that Gore's going to get lit up. From a total side of things here, the 9s are gone. I like seeing that. It's an 8.5 now. This moved from 9 to 8.5 at 9:10 a.m. I like that. The first 5, I would like to see what that's done for the total here. This first 5 is at 4.5. Oh, this first 5 is moving to the over. Damn. Oh, that's not. I don't like that. There's been a 9-cent move to the now. It wasn't a real 5 either. It was minus 120 to the under. Huh. Okay. So that's the situation. Let's take a look at cash flow here for this one. From a cash flow side of things, we have 16% of the tickets, 34% of the cash on the Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks are becoming more and more and more appealing as we go on. 80% of the tickets, 75% cash on the over. Professor Chris says Diamondbacks weighted runs created versus lefties, 121, good for second in all of Major League Baseball. They haven't had power since May 15th against lefties.
Yeah, they're disgusting. They got destroyed by fucking Corbin yesterday. I mean,
they just haven't been showing power against lefties.
And
So
Sharpie also added this as well. He said that the Diamondbacks don't hit his lefties, which mean good lefties. Skubal, nothing. Weathers, nothing. And Braxton Garrett, nothing. I mean, it's very frustrating. I mean, I obviously was on the over with them yesterday, and they didn't hit shit. So
I moved on the first half and full game unders. Let me just pull this up here. Sorry about that. I got the first half under 4.5 at minus 105. This was getting juiced. It's too bad. I got the full game under 9 at minus 117. It was minus 120 at 365. It was minus 117 at Penny. I wrote odds available now at Penny, but I actually sent the 4.5 at minus 105 into 365. They were both at minus 105. Send it into my local. Take it away for us here, Jose. I've doubled up on this game. What's your plan? Diamondbacks Nationals popping off in 54 minutes.
no, I think I'll join you guys on the under. I'll take the 8.5 minus 105. Obviously, I guess I should be a little jealous about your 9, but I'll take it. I like the logic. I like because I thought Gore could go out there and pitch well. Because again, I feel like I've fallen into this Diamondbacks fucking garbage against lefties several times this year. And it's been annoying because they just never come through for me for whatever reason. And yet they have good full season numbers and then last few weeks numbers. And it's annoying. But I'll trust Gore here. I think Gore is good enough. He's in my rotation. Pitcher I like. My main concern was going to be Ryan Nelson. And here Ron Crawford likes the Diamondbacks today. I like your angle of Nelson and Flat being buddies and one pushing the other. So I like that. So I took the under here as well. And I also like a getaway early game, sleepy spot. So under, for me, 8.5 minus 105.
Torrey Coker on Arizona, first 5 money line, full game money line. Rod Zawacki on the Nats money line, first 5. And AOD giving a shout out to our Rod Zawacki, who also gave us Ryan McLeod to score a goal. Ryan McLeod to score a goal. Those that fucking line of Yan Mark Henry, Connor Brown is so good. And then you also have McLeod firing out there. They're a good hockey team. JP says, how taxed are these bullpens? And Kuji Cam giving us the skull and bones for a dead under. Take it away for bullpen health and rest. How healthy is this bullpen?
Diamondbacks are good to go. That means like basically everyone's available. And for the Nationals, Derek Law threw 27 pitches yesterday. I expect him to be down. Other than that, I expect everyone else ready to go. Kyle Finnegan, the aforementioned, threw 14 pitches yesterday, so I expect him to be able to go again.
You can tell the closers who they know they're going to get the job done. There's no emoting. They just know he just knows he's going to get these guys. They weren't even coming close to Finnegan. Like, not even close. He looked so dominant.
Yeah, buy Nat stock. Buy Nat stock now. In a few years, you'll be selling it off for billions.
Oh, I feel you. All right. We roll on. So, Jose, I've doubled up on unders, and Jose has moved on the full game under 8.5. And what was the juice you got on that one?
Minus 105. Shout out to you, Cameron. We need to get through Ecuador first here tomorrow on Friday, and we'll talk about that game.
Yes, and for those of you, Jose, 25. He didn't send it to me though, which is a little different than my father.
Oh, do you want me to send it to you?
No.
I don't know how this works. I don't know how this operates.
I'm totally fine. But not only did Jose not send me the $25, but I didn't send in his actions.
Yeah, of course. I knew when I thought, oh, maybe I can do this with Jimmy, and I thought, well, I know he's not going to send it in, so that's okay.
No, the futures I almost always send in. You don't want that hanging over your head.
Yeah. The plus 550 is tough. But yeah,
if you had to bet $100 on it, I'd probably send in some of it, $50 of it. No,
okay,
but,
sure.
Right.
Sure. No, I'm a small time bettor.
All right. No, there's nothing wrong with that. You stay within your unit size. You're young.
Of course.
You just moved out. There's nothing wrong with where your unit size is. The important thing is you want your unit size to be growing. Morgan Spooner says Finnegan's been a staple on the backside of this Nationals rotation for a few years now. Bullpen. Glad's getting more respect. He looks so good. And let's roll. There's something else I was going to. Oh yeah, JP's moving on the under 8.5. Oh yeah, that's it. Professor Chris going to be in Atlantic City tonight. Any of our low baggers going to be in Atlantic City. Hook up with Professor Chris and watch some baseball. All right, Jose and Sharpie moved on the Diamondbacks team total under 2.5, first 7 innings. Okay, let's roll. Next up for us, 1:10 p.m. Eastern, we have the triumphant return of our special guest, who is now 21-12 on our show. Don't forget, he started 4-9. 4-9, which means he's 17-3 over his last 20 picks here on the show. Hitting at 63.6% plus 7.91 units, ROI plus 23.97%, ROI 23.97%. Please welcome upstate New York here, our guy TJ in the house. TJ, what's good, man? How are you? You're muted, my guy.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I pull a Daby Cab there.
No worries.
No, I'm doing great. Baseball's starting to go well again, and luckily we've given some good picks on the show, so let's keep it rolling.
Let's do that. Saturated, I've never held on to a future. I've always been afraid of that. If I don't believe in it, I'll put some of it in. And my dad doesn't make futures, so it's not, Oh,
what's
I guess
the biggest bet your dad made?
Sonny got me. Sonny got me on one for like $800 or $900. Sonny got me on a parlay.
God,
They got me on
I-
parlay that I didn't send in for like
Yeah.
$700 or $800, but so I get
That's very
no one's
funny.
taking me for over a K, but Sonny took me for like I don't know 800 and whatever. It sucked. Let's go. TJ, Mariners, Guardians, Progressive Field in Cleveland, Ohio. Now, I saw your action. I didn't tweet it out. I try not to tweet out your guys' picks. I like that you do it to make it official. I try not to retweet them before the show because I want people to come here and see it. But I respect it, and you want to lock the lines in, and I support it massively. I don't usually retweet them before the show. I retweet them after the show. And I took a long look at your spot, long look at your spot, and I almost bet it. Like I literally sat there for 20 minutes. What was happening for me was I began trusting Logan Allen much more than Luis Castillo for some reason. And then I heard from the chat that there was this big move towards Cleveland. And that makes sense to me from an X's and O's factor. And I thought, you know what? Hopefully it doesn't move that much so we can talk it out. At the time, I couldn't get that under 4.5 at minus 115, which you got it at Bet Online. I could get minus 119 or minus 120. I was fine with that. Right now, this 4.5 under that you moved on opened up at minus 109 to the over and quickly started moving towards the under. Yes, it did get to minus 1. I was going to say, I saw it at minus 119. This got to minus 120, and then it moved to 4. Now, it wasn't a real 4. It's minus 121 to the over, plus 105 to the under. And then there was a move back to the over. A slight one, but a move. So at that point, this was minus 121 to the under 4.5, plus 106 to the over 4.5. And wow, no, it's come back. So this got down to minus 113, and that's what I was reading. But in the last few minutes, more money's coming on the under. So it's basically right where it was. Minus 118 to the under. Let's go to the full game. This full game is sitting at 8.5. This opened up at 9, and it moved to 8.5 around 9:10 this morning. And when we get to the money line here, this is sitting with Logan Allen and the Guardians at minus 123. They opened up at plus 106. Wow, just a huge move towards them. Cash flow wise here, we have 23% of the tickets and 25% of the cash on the under. It's moving in that direction. On the money line, you have 54% of tickets, 73% cash on the Guardians. And it's minus 113 at FanDuel. Interesting, Kong. Looks like it's starting to move back here. Coin moved on Cleveland money line to minus 105 and plus 185 on the alt run line. And look at odds bunch. Sharpie saying, wish the juice wasn't minus 170 on Castillo under 4.5 strikeouts, but he ain't getting 5 today, let me tell you. So, again, the weather in Cleveland, the weather in Cleveland, 89 Fahrenheit, feels like 93, 7 miles per hour in, gets up to 8.3. It's hot and sticky. Castillo 6-7, 3.32 ERA, 1.14 WHIP. He's been very good this year. He's coming off a good start, 3-2 win at home versus the Rangers, 6 innings, 2 earned runs, 7 Ks, 1 walk. We know the Rangers aren't hitting righties at all. On the road, he struggled a bit. Still has a really nice opponent's batting average, and the K to walk ratio is not what we're used to with him. 37 strikeouts and 15 walks. That means that he's got 55 strikeouts and 9 walks at home. But on the road, 37 strikeouts and 15 walks, 3.76 ERA over 40 and 2/3, and he's 2-4. Logan Allen's had a very strange season. His numbers aren't good. He got just destroyed in his first home start. His last home start was his best home start, but it was a long time ago because he had 4 straight road starts. His last start, 1 earned run and a 3-1 win at the Blue Jays. So his home numbers are terrible, over 23 1/3. But again, his last start was his best start. And his numbers overall this year are bad. 7-3, 5.30 ERA, 1.49 WHIP. Mariners are hitting 192 with a 618 OPS versus lefties. Guardians 259, 751. And then the Guardians bullpen is 2.19 runs better over 9 innings than the Mariners bullpen. Take it away for us here, TJ, your first best bet, Mariners Guardians.
Yeah, so, as you said, I tweeted this one out, 4.5 under minus 115. I have a lot of faith in Allen today. I know he got blown up at Detroit at Colorado a few starts ago, which, that's at Colorado. How much can we hold that against him? But in the previous 3 and then the 2 after, he allowed a total of 8 runs in 5 outings. That's 28.2 innings, 8 runs allowed. So I know his stats are skewed. If you look at full season, he started terribly, but I'm really concerned that those last 5 or 6 starts, go back about a month or 35 days on a pitcher to get a good read at where he's at. And his only bad start was at Cleveland there, like I talked about. Seattle's terrible offensively. Their last 30 against lefties, 185 batting average, 283 on base percentage, only a 618 OPS. So they're not hitting for power. Those numbers get worse as you shorten the sample size to the last 14. Seattle's the lowest scoring team on the first 5 at 2.04 runs. They've only seen Allen at 23 plate appearances, and they have 3 hits, all singles. So that first time through the order for Allen is excellent. He gets a little bit worse that second time, but that's looking at season-long stats. And then I think Castillo is going to be his just normal self, 2 runs or 3 runs over 6 innings. If he can hold him to 2, I think we get this comfortably. So that's why I moved on on the first 5 under. I also like where the cash and money is and where it's moving. It got all the way down, like you said, to 4. There's still 4 available at Bookmaker if you want to kind of buy some of your bet back. But that's where I'm at there. And then I kind of want to double up here, and I am for the show. I'm gonna do Seattle under 4 runs for the full game, because if Allen shoves like I think he is, obviously you got a great bullpen there. You have, bullpen usage-wise, we have Class A, Smith, Hintages, Avila, all available. They're the best bullpen arms in the last 30 days. So I like that. All the bats in Seattle are cold. Crawford, France, Haniger, Moore. Julio's the only one that's doing okay. So I just don't think they get to 4. Now the over-under at most books is 3.5. I made a 4 at Heritage just before the show. 3.5 is plus 109, and 4.5 was minus 159. So in the run line calculator, that comes to under 4 at minus 118. So I'll take that push at 4. I'd much rather do that than have the 3.5. So 2 bets: Seattle under 4 minus 118, and first 5 under 4.5 minus 115.
The difference between the first 5 and the full game is massive. At Bet365, Guardians first 5 minus 110, full game minus 130. At Pinnacle, the Guardians full game minus 123, first half minus 106. Jose, take it away. Guardians, Mariners.
Yeah, I actually leaned over in this game quietly. I know the Mariners' numbers against lefties aren't good, and Cleveland's offense has been pretty decent all year, obviously. But I'm actually seeing this kind of move towards the over, which I thought was interesting. Obviously 77% of the bets, 76% of the money on the over. Opened up at minus 125, and Heritage is showing an 8.5 now, which is interesting. And yeah, it did open at minus 125 at Bet Online. Now it's down to minus 114. So I'm interested to see what happens to this line. I'm probably just going to stay off. But I was close to moving on the Guardians here after all that line movement. I was pretty impressed yesterday. Wu didn't pitch that bad, but Guardians still shut down the Mariners offense. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe the Mariners offense is just going back on that tailspin. So I lean Guardians here. I stay off. I trust my guy TJ. I don't want to get in front of the train that is TJ. So no action for me here.
Yeah, I'm going to move on the Guardians money line. I was thinking of making it a -1, but I don't have to do that. There's no need to do that. A minus 123 is fine. So I'm going to move on the Guardians, and I'll have to do that here pretty quick. This game is popping off in 44 minutes. TJ on the board with a double up. TJ, why don't you stick with us here, because you and Cab are both in business with Astros, White Sox, and I want to get my bet in, and I don't want to sit here and take too much time. So let's talk about the Rays, Twinkies next up, Jose, and lead us through this spot with Zach Littell and Simeon Woods Richardson. I will be all ears, and I will jump in as well.
Yep.
I don't have that. My only pre-show action was on that first half and full game under, but I'm going to be moving on the Guardians right now. So take it away, Jose.
Yeah, so let's talk about this game as I have to re-upload the graphic because apparently StreamYard deleted it. So shout out to you, StreamYard. But Rays Twins here, Littell versus Simeon Woods Richardson. And what an interesting, series we've had. It feels like the Rays have been in every game, and they're not a poor team. That's probably why. Littell, decent pitcher. Simeon Woods Richardson on the other side. I don't really know what to make of him yet. If I'm going to be honest, he's been in I don't know. I wouldn't say too confusing, but I just have my doubts up about these young pitchers so far. He went up 4 innings, 4 earned runs last time against Oakland at home, I should say. Decent. I would say good, actually. At Pittsburgh, 6 1/3, 6 hits, 1 earned run there. That plays. Another okay start against Houston, 4 1/3, 3 hits, 3 earned runs. I'd say that last start against Oakland was his worst since, last month on the 11th when he gave up 5 earned runs against the Blue Jays. So could be a bounce back opportunity for him against a Rays team that we know does not hit very well, to say the least. Zach Littell, I guess you could call their best pitcher. Now, him and Taj Bradley, I'd say, also coming off of a shit start, getting crushed against the Braves. 2 innings, 7 runs, 6 of them earned there. He's been pretty good all year. It's been 3 runs in the last 3 starts previous to that, 6 earned run, a 2 earned run spot. I expect a bounce back here. And both these offenses, like I've been saying, they don't really inspire too much confidence here. Shout out to Stacks and Royce Lewis last night. I'd like to see that. Against righties, this month, quietly, Minnesota, 4th best in the league against them. That's pretty surprising because full season, they are 8th best, only at 106 weighted runs created plus. So only 6% above average. But this month specifically so far, 131 weighted runs created plus, crushing the ball. And like I said, Rolls Royce Lewis probably helps that factor quite a lot. Market in this game, let's talk about the total first because we have 94% of the bets and 93% of the money on the over in this game. And, it's seeing some 7.5s now. Interestingly enough, Bet Online dropped this from an 8 to 7.5 at around 9:30 this morning. And then at our friends at like Heritage, for example, Heritage had this at a 8 minus 113 to the under. Now it is a 7.5 to minus 108 each side there. So very interesting indeed, obviously. And then we've got 94% of the bets, 84% of the bets, 96% of the money on the Twins here. And this line has moved in the direction about 10 cents, minus 132 now at our friends at Bet Online from minus 122 opener. TJ, what are your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I got to lean. I actually bet Minnesota my first bet this morning, minus 123. I had it lined at about minus 137 in my algorithm. So anytime there's more than 9 cents of a difference, I'll bet it. But I am a little bit concerned that it hasn't moved more. I don't know if they're trusting Littell here. He just got shelled by the Braves. His last 4 starts, he's given up at least 3 earned runs and 6 hits in all of them. The Rays are 1-5 in his last 5 starts. You got a terrible bullpen in Tampa Bay. Their offense, 25th in runs, 20th OBP. They have no slugging. They have no power. So that all pointed me on Minnesota. I think Richardson's going to be okay. He wasn't great against Oakland. He doesn't typically go deep. There's this bias that the Twins pen is really good. I don't necessarily believe that. I think they're kind of middle of the pack, but they're against a weak lineup here. And then those Twins bats are kind of skewed by the 17-run outing, 6 games ago. But then they had 6, 6, 6, 8, and 7 in their next 5 games. So they're hitting the ball well. Everything points me to the Twins, 23-14 at home. I have the bet riding. I don't know if I would endorse it at the number now, though.
This is the fishiest. And I know a lot of you guys are moving on Minnesota and you guys don't care about this stuff. But how in the world could they line up like this? I mean, you have an advantage seemingly in every single, with the starting pitcher, with the offense, with the bullpen. You have an advantage everywhere. You have 84% of tickets and 96% of cash on the Twins. It's funny that you said that your first bet was Minnesota because it was the first thing that caught my eye. I was like, oh my God. Because I want to wait for Simeon Woods Richardson to start rolling at home, which he didn't do in his last start. But Littell got absolutely lit up, and he's been getting touched on all of his starts, last 3 or 4. So then how in the world is the number the way it is? And when that's the case, TJ, 2 years ago, you were tracking the spots where I got off and didn't move on the other side. I started trying last year to go on the other side. That didn't seem to work. Actually, I don't think that was the problem. Honestly, I don't think that was the problem. But I did not have a good year last year. I just can't understand this with all the money on the Twins, this line not moving. And it did move at one point. This was moving towards the Twins. This opened up minus 128 at Pinnacle, and we got up to minus 135 at 8:34 in the morning, which would give you a sense of calm. It got up to minus 138 at 9:52 a.m. So you're like, okay. And then there's a 10-cent move back that actually was a 13-cent move back towards the Rays with nobody betting them. So it was the only reason why I wasn't on Minnesota yesterday with Joe Ryan was because the market was the same. So,
in instances like this, when I made the bet early, got an okay number, the day progresses, the market progresses, and I don't feel good about it, I just hope the Twins get off to a lead and I live bet Tampa to get my money back. Because I believe in the market. I also believe in my numbers. So it's a little interesting.
It's very, very interesting.
Yeah. And by the way, you mentioned yesterday how the A's and all that shit are. I think Chase J, says it well here. He says, well, it's true. Submit yourself to the market and meekly let it know its knowledge surpasses yours. And the results will be taking the A's last night. Thank you, Magic Market.
And look at Morgan Spooner with another one. Morgan Spooner says, this feels like the moment Jimmy called the athletic spot. And I didn't bet the A's. I just got off Cole Raggins. And this is what TJ was tracking of mine 2 years ago when I think it was at 67%, something like that, TJ. You might remember better. But he says, and this is so true. This is so true. Morgan nailing it from the Undoing Project said, it's easier to tell when someone else is wrong rather than to tell if you are right. And that, both things from Chase J and Morgan Spooner are exactly what, I dreamt this show would become. Talking about the analysis in different ways and different angles and different methods. And I love both Chase J and Morgan's breakdowns. And also, Beavis Rogers, also, I love everything that you've brought to the show as well. So don't get it twisted. I love everything that everybody's doing here. Let's move on.
I'm going to move on Tampa Bay.
Sorry?
I'm going to move on Tampa Bay. Again, this is one of those spots where we keep talking about it, so we might as well bet it.
Well, that doesn't make that's the logic that I'm hoping we veer away from on the show. Did you talk about it long enough so that you bet it? That's not what I'm looking for here from us.
Well, it's more of like we've talked about this spot and how it seems like the market's telling us that it's Tampa Bay, and
yes.
I'm gonna bet Tampa Bay because of it.
I mean, who's missing from the lineup? Correa.
Yeah. With his elephant foot, you want him out of the lineup.
Right.
These old guys are falling apart. The Correas, the Springers. I mean, they're not guys that you want in the lineup here. Let me pull up the lineup right now.
I felt some of that rage for Springer last night, Jimmy, when I just, guys on the fucking bases for him, just get a hit to bring him in. Strikes out, complains about it to the umpire is extremely frustrating.
Yeah, he goes in attack mode, right? He's in attack mode, trying to attack, and it's like, hey, Gampy, why don't you take a second to see you're not the same guy that you were. Going up and attacking is not helping here. But Larnach, Miranda, Royce, Lewis, Max Kepler, Ryan Jeffers, Carlos Santana, Buxton, Farmer Martin. It's a good Twins lineup. I like that lineup. I like Farmer at short. I like that lineup. And then for the Rays, Yandy Diaz, Brandon Lau, Paredes, Josh Lowe, Rosarena, DeLuca, Siri, Caballero, and Jackson. It's not that good of a Rays line. What are you getting on the Rays, Jose?
Plus 124.
That's a nice number. Okay. And Gerald Jones was best bet was Twins first 5 -1/2. I'm off that spot. Although I'm just trying to go back to what I did 2 years ago. Because if I was just on the mark alone, I would join you there for sure. All right,
Yeah,
let's
but that
move
was
on.
also
Oh,
sorry,
yeah.
Jimmy. That
No,
was
jump in.
70-ish bets, so it's a small sample in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. I think it would work. I don't know how you can vouch, and by vouching, I mean, using your money to bet on something that's only predicated on the market leading you into it. I just don't feel like that's enough. But I imagine I would have a high ROI, or I'd have a positive ROI if that's all I did here.
I submit myself to my market lords, Jimmy. I submit myself and let them guide me.
Well, it's important with our sample size, and as TJ's is still small and Daby Cab's is still small, and and Sharpies is still 6-2 where they're going to be going. But it's important that if this is the method that we're using, that we have a winning record, because if it's not bringing us cash, then it's wrong. So there's so many angles in MLB, and it can be quite daunting. But let's move on to the next spot on the board, because we are a 4-headed monster for this. Let's welcome back the star of Medicate Mondays every Monday here at 11 a.m. Our guy and yours, Dallas, Texas, in the house, Mr. Daby Cab, to the program. Daby, how are you?
Man, I'm fine, but I'd be lying if I said I didn't need to win a fucking bet right now.
Yeah, it's ebbs and flows. There's nothing tougher and more streaky than betting MLB, and it's hard. It's just a battle. It is a battle. Let's roll in this one. We are 3 ways here, just so the records are up there. But come back and join us, Jose. We want you. I think we've had the records for enough time. Come back and join us. Let's roll here. Houston Astros at the Chicago White Sox. Now, Joe T is coming and giving us his best bet. Astros White Sox over 9. These are the type of spots when you have young pitchers. Now, we know that Arrighetti is much higher thought of a young pitcher than Chris Flexen, but with very ballooned numbers. And this is this type of spot where if there's a move to the under, I find it very, very appealing. And I haven't spent too much time on this game other than just gathering the information. So let's get to work here. Guaranteed rate field in Chicago, Illinois. We have best bets from both Daby and TJ, which will give us a lot of time to analyze the best way of handling this. Also, Hunter Brown, I had to wait for that first good start, but he's bet on. He's so in control right now. He's pitching so well right now. I really, he's so confident. He's mixing speeds. He's just doing everything that I was hoping we'd see from him. And we talked about Fott and Ryan Nelson following Fott as they are friends. Now, I don't know if Spencer Arrighetti and Hunter Brown are friends. I can't speak on that, but Spencer Arrighetti had to have seen the Astros brass stick with Hunter Brown and Hunter Brown find himself. Now can Arrighetti follow suit? Because it looked like he was going to, and then he got lit up and smoked at home versus the Tigers last out. Only got 4 outs, 5 hits, 7 earned runs, 3 jacks, 2 Ks, 2 walks. Did not look very good. He struggled on the road all year. He's getting strikeouts, but he's walked 17 batters over 28 in the third with a 287 opponent's batting average. So will Arrighetti, who just watched 2 spectacular young pitchers in Crochet and Hunter Brown, can he deliver? It is 81 Fahrenheit, 7 miles per hour, left to right, slightly in, and then it just goes left to right. We have Chris Flexen, who in his last start got touched up at Arizona in the 7-1 loss. He's not been good at home. Now, I go from game to game to game with the live on 365. Now, there's a couple spots like Seattle and Detroit and Toronto that they don't give you a live feed, but I've watched a bunch of White Sox starts. I've been on Crochet a lot, and I've heard Flexen be interviewed a bunch of times, and I was a fan of his in Seattle, and I know how liked he was there. They love him. That doesn't mean anything. I know it doesn't mean it. Maybe Daby can touch on that, but these guys in this clubhouse, they love Flexen. Like, he's as popular as you can imagine in that clubhouse. Now, I don't know how that plays into whether he can start pitching well at home. Astros are smashing righty since May 15th, 265, 754 OPS. White Sox is 213, 619. And then this Astros bullpen is rolling right now. 2.53 ERA, 1.14 whip since May 15th, while the White Sox bullpen 5.68 ERA, 1.60 whip. Let's get into the line history and the cash flow, and we'll start with Daby Cab for best bet number one from him. We have Flexen and the White Sox opening up at plus 149. They're plus 154. So a very slight 5-cent move to the Houston Astros. When we get to the total, this total is sitting right now at 9. It's minus 118 to the over. So this opened up at 9 and it moved to 9.5. As you would imagine, when gamblers see these inflated numbers, would want the over. And then it comes back to 9, back up to 9.5, and it's back to 9 again. Now, it's not quite a real 9. We still have 14 cents of movement to the over, but this reminds me a little bit about that Arizona-Washington over yesterday, which I had planned to move on. And when we were reviewing it at the end of the show, I said to you, Jose, I was like, wow, what a surprise move to the under. I did not expect to see that late move to the under. And I was like, you know what, Jose, I can't move on it with this late move to the under. And there was no runs scored in that game. It was a 3-1 final. When we get to the cash flow for this spot here, we have 85% of the tickets and 93% of the cash on the Astros. Line's not really moving towards them. You have 86% of the tickets and 86% of the cash on the under. Who would have thunk that? I would have guessed that would have been the opposite. 8.6 of every 10 tickets are coming in on the under? Wow. Okay. I'm surprised at that. Take it away, Daby Cab. Best bet number one.
I mean, when you're betting on a White Sox game, I don't really care who's on the mound. It's never that bad of an idea to take an under. I mean, 30th in the league batting average, 30th in the league on base percentage, 30th in the league runs scored, 30th in the league slugging percentage. I mean, I can go on. This really is the worst team in baseball. The White Sox are terrible. I'm just going to say that. They're as bad as it gets. You know, Flexen's one of those guys who I always wanted to believe in. I think he's got plus stuff, but he just always seemed to let me down, always. And, he gave Seattle just over 300 innings in those 2 years through 2021 and 2022. I don't know. He just hasn't seemed right, since then. I can't get behind Flexen. There's no way. And as far as the Astros go here, this is one of those situations where a team that, is supposed to be better than they are, and they're beaten up and they've got a losing record and they're not winning the division like they want to be, they take it out, on somebody like Flexen and the White Sox. And I think the Astros might take it out on the White Sox here. Once you start seeing, a few people cross the plate, it just kind of, it's systemic through the dugout. And I think that's might be something we see here with the Astros. I kind of like the Astros team total over. I wouldn't take the over in this game because I'm not betting an over with the White Sox. That's just me personally. And for everybody who watches, I have certain bets that I repeat, like the Phillies I've been on a lot this year. Alvarez's prop is one of those that I've been on. I'm 6-2 this year when I bet it. I bet it 8 times. I don't know how many times I've been on your show, Jimmy. I just know what my record is, on the whole season. A couple of those have been on Medicate Monday. I know that for a fact. So, but 6-2 all the times I bet him. And you look, Alvarez is coming back. He hasn't played since the 16th. He's been out for a few games. And he's coming back in today. So even though I'm talking about his last 10 games, I know he's been out, but he's hitting 297 over his last 10 games, 11 hits, 2 homers, 9 RBIs, 7 runs scored in those 10 games. And then you look at his numbers against Flexen. He's had 14 at bats, 4 hits, which is 286, pretty damn good. Not amazing, but pretty damn good. It's his slugging percentage. In those 14 at bats, he's got 2 homers. He's hitting slugging percentage of 714 here. And I think this is just a spot where over 1.5 total bases at minus 110 is not something I'm going to lay off. You got a righty that's floundering with Alvarez coming back in the lineup. It screams. I mean, if we could do, quarter units, I'd take him for a home run also, Jimmy. I'm just not going to do that for the show on a full unit.
I get it. I get it. It's a good matchup for flexing. Jordan Alvarez over 1.5 bases minus 110 for Daby Cab. TJ, your plan for Astros White Sox 2:10 p.m. start.
So I agree with Chicago White Sox not being able to score. Obviously, we'll start with Arrighetti. I expect some variance with him being young, and he just obviously got rocked by Detroit. But he was feeling himself a little because he had 2 total earned runs allowed in those 3 previous starts. You start to feel yourself a little bit, give up a blow up start. Now it's time to refocus. Nobody is going to refocus more than playoff games, but he has an opportunity to face the worst offense in baseball and put up a 7 innings shutout, 7 innings 1 run type of game. That wind blowing across from third to first is going to help both those righties. So now let's go talk about flexing because I'm pretty confident Chicago's not going to score very much early. Flexing, he had a real tough outing against Arizona, Baltimore, and the Yankees. So in his last 6 starts, he's had 3 good starts, 3 bad starts. Yankees, Baltimore, Arizona are all in your top 5 offenses in baseball. Against Toronto, the Cubs, and Boston, he pitched very well. 5 combined earned runs, 5 innings in each of those. I'm obviously going to say I know Houston is starting to heat up a little bit, but they fall more in that Toronto, Boston, Cubs category than the Yankees, Baltimore category. So yeah, those combined earned runs looked good. I expect a good bounce back, and I'm not too concerned with Houston's offense right now. So I think Houston money line is the right play if you're on a side. I don't hate the Jordan Alvarez prop. He's one of the only ones hitting for power on that team. So yeah, first 5 under 5 minus 115.
That is appealing here. 6 runs in the first 5. Before Jose drops in, the lineups: Altuve, Bregman, Alvarez, Diaz, Singleton, Myers, Pena, Dubon, and McCormick for the Astros. And for the White Sox,
I can give you their numbers if you want. Altuve's hitting 227 off of him. He's got 22 at bats. Alvarez 286, 14 at bats. Brinkman 333, 15 at bats. Then you go down. Pena's got 11 at bats. He's hitting 455 off of him. My bad. I just throw those out for you.
No, that's great. No, that's helpful. And for the White Sox, Pham, Gavin Sheets, Luis Robert, Vaughn, Benintendi, Sosa, Mendick, Lopez, and Maldonado for the White Sox. Maldonado behind the plate, of course. Rich history with the opposition. Take it away, Jose. Astros, White Sox.
I'll stay off. I lean under as well. And I think that Arrighetti start last time was a mirage because that was the day they threw him in there to fill in for Verlander, kind of last second. Probably wasn't expecting the pitch. And I think Morgan Spooner said it as well. Pitchers are routine guys. So I honestly just throw that last start out the window and expect him to have a good one here. But no action for me.
TJ, can you are you not surprised at the numbers that Action are giving us? Did that really caught me by surprise? 86% tickets, 86% cash on the full game under. I know the White Sox offense is weak, but you don't think that people are looking at the starting pitchers' inflated numbers? Did that surprise you at all?
Do you know if that's once it moved to 9.5? That's
the problem, of course. That's the problem with this. There's multiple problems with the ticket and cash count. That's a very key one. Yeah,
I like the ticket and cash count for money lines much more than if a total changes because I just don't know. Are those bets when it was at 9, or were the big bets at 9, and then once it got to 9.5, they came back in and are betting it down. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's important.
But with the bullpens, I would much rather go first 5 than full game.
Rod Zawacki's come in with his 10-star play of the day, which has been must-know information for the 7 years that I've been doing shows publicly. Ever since my first few shows, it was in Costa Rica. It was must-know information. Rod Zawacki on the Twins, so that's going to help the Twins backers, and that will be much to the chagrin of our Jose Bouquet. Regidin says Spencer Arrighetti is an away fave 0-4, flexing his home dog 1-6, first 5 over. I think that's simplifying things too much, personally, Regidin. So let's roll on I'm not going to move on it. I don't think, but I am very interested in that first 5 under 5, and I get the Yordan Alvarez spot. I'm not a prop bettor myself. So let's roll on. We're gonna cap the next game, and then you guys are gonna join us again for the one following. So if you guys don't mind, why don't you just stick around? You guys want to just stick around? Okay, cool.
Yep.
Next up for us is Los Angeles Dodgers, 46-30, 22-15 on the road. The Colorado Rockies, 26-48, 15-21 at home. We're in Coors Field in Denver, Colorado. I got the 3-run bomb in the first inning. And Joe Yurkovich told me not to bet the first 3+1/2 because they were going to have to go through Ohtani and Freddie Freeman twice. And I got the 3-run bomb in the first inning, and I was like, I taught you, Joe. And then, of course, Ohtani bases clearing double in the second inning. It could have been a situation where those guys got up 3 times in the first 3 innings. And then, of course, they win the game overall. It was extremely frustrating. And there's my guy, Joe, in the chat right now. I should have listened, Joe. Joe says, I love this Gavin Stone fella. Coming off 4-3 win at home versus the Royals. Royals are hitting righties pretty hard. So it's a nice performance. 7 innings, 4 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 homer, 3 Ks, 2 walks. On the road, he's been excellent. 2.22 opponent's batting average. K to walk ratio, not what you want, but 2.83 ERA over 28 2/3. Going up against Ty Block, who is throwing 50 1/3 innings this year. And his numbers are better than a lot of his compadres on the starting staff. But he's only throwing 12 innings at home in the thin air. In the thin air, he's allowed 18 hits, 10 earned runs, and 2 jacks. DC Capper on the Dodgers -1.5. Anonymous user saying Dodgers better mess them up. Doug saying my Dodgers better kick ass today. And Sharpie says, normally don't say back a guy in his first start in Coors, but back Stone today. His pitch mix plays in Colorado. He's fastball, sinker, changeup guy. Those play in the thin air. The Dodgers are also raking against lefties, 267, 830 OPS. And Rockies are hitting righties. Now, I know the thin air helps, but 251, 716 OPS. The Rockies bullpen actually did a job yesterday for the first time in a long time. They have a 7.85 ERA and a 1.81 whip since May 15th. Dodgers bullpen's been very good. So let's get into the line history here for this one. We have the total sitting at 11.5 at Penny. Now my bookies moved it to 12. Penny's moved it to 12 at times. It's open at 11.5. It's moved to 12 multiple times. Got up to 12.5 even. Now, it's back at 12. It moved back to 12 7 minutes ago. 102 to the over, plus 102, and minus 115 to the under. Let's get to the money line here in this one. We have the Dodgers minus 209. They opened up at minus 224, so 15 cents of buyback. This is not a spot where the market was moving heavily towards the big favorite, which is what I had expected to see. A question from Top Crocodile. Did TJ have any 1 p.m. action? Yes. TJ moved on the first 5 under 4.5 in Seattle, Cleveland, and the Mariners team total under. That's TJ's 1 p.m. action, Top Crocodile. Back to the spot here, cash-wise. We have 79% of tickets, 74% cash on the over, and we have 91% of tickets, 90% cash on the Dodgers. Jose Bouquet, Coors Field in Denver, Colorado. Your plan?
Yeah, I've been cashing on these team total overs. It's been quite funny to watch. It was a little sweatier yesterday, but I'll ride it again. Rockies team total over 4.5 here, minus 115. Sharpie's saying that this is Gavin Stone's first start. He's saying normally not to back guys on their first start, but Gavin Stone, his pitches play well there. I think that this is going to be an interesting start, to say the least, for Gavin Stone, and I'm going to fade him here. I think that number's just too low with a 12, and I'll believe in the Dodgers bullpen to crumple here as well. So even if Gavin pitches well, I'll still trust the bullpen to give up some runs here. So 4.5 minus 115 for me.
Rockies team total over 4.5 at minus 115. Daby Cab, what do you think of this spot here, Dodgers Rockies?
Yeah, I'll just echo what Jose was just reading, what Sharpie said in the chat. If he's leading with the sinker, a changeup, and he keeps the ball down in the zone, those are ground ball pitches. That's why it doesn't matter. I mean, the air doesn't matter if you're throwing the ball on the ground. Dodgers have won 4 of their last 5 games, 5 of their last 6 road games. They're playing good offensively right now. 23 runs in their last 3 games. I don't see any reason why they don't play well here. Dodgers have been dominant against left-handed pitching. I know it's square, but I think you just take the Dodgers run line in this game. I'm not betting it, but that's what I'd do if I was.
TJ, Dodgers, Rockies, of course.
Yeah, I'm not a big run line guy. Otherwise, I'd be on it. I've just learned not to do it. If I'm going to attack this game, like Sharpie's saying, Gavin Stone, only 23.8% fly ball rate. He's only got a 33.3% hard hit rate. Guys aren't barreling up. He's got a lot of red on my spreadsheet there, which is a good sign. I think if I was to bet this game, I would go Gavin Stone to win. That's at -105 at DraftKings. Just because anytime there's a big fave, that's kind of my go-to is I just take the pitcher to get the win at way lower juice. But other than that, man, I hate betting Colorado games. You just never know. That White Sox game just got hit to the under really hard, by the way. First 5 and full game. So if you want it, you should get it now. But yeah, that's what I would do. I would. You're not going to go wrong taking the Dodgers here, I don't think.
Yeah.
Agreed.
All right. Okay, let's roll on here. The only official pick was the Rockies team total over 4.5 from Jose Bouquet. A bet that I get, and one I wish I was on yesterday. A lot of movement from the markets, and we'll just break those down. But let's move on to the next spot on the board. We have Cab and TJ on this one, and then they'll join us again near the end of the telecast. Kansas City Royals at Oakland Athletics, Oakland Coliseum in Oakland, California. Let's get into the line history here for this one. Again, the last 2 days in a row, I'm a big Alec Marsh guy, and everyone loves Cole Ragans. They're pitching very, very well, and the market was telling us that don't follow the public on the Royals, and the A's won both games. 59 Fahrenheit at first pitch, 6.8 miles per hour out to right field, gets up to 8.9 miles per hour, but it swirls in the Bay Area, not a big deal. Let's get into the line history here for Lugo Spence. Lugo's been so good this year, and this one is different. This one, we've seen movement towards the Royals, but we've seen it a couple times, and we've seen it with buybacks, so it is a little trickier than it looks. But Royals open up at -139 and get up to -155 at 2 a.m. So 16 cents of movement. Then it bounces back to the low mid 140s. And then again, the Royals start getting hammered. Gets up to -157 at 9:53 at 10 a.m., 10 a.m. And then buyback again. And we're not talking just a little bit of buyback. We're talking enormous buyback. 21 cents of buyback. All of a sudden, the Royals are -136. Think about the cappers that got in on the Royals at -160 and then see it at -136. And then there's been buyback on the Royals again. So we have 11 cents of movement, but not just one way. From a total side of things here, we have a 7.5. This opened up at 8. It lasted at 6:21 p.m. and only lasted there for 3 hours and 40 minutes before it got to 7.5. And the 7.5 is juiced to the over. Get to the cash flow for this spot. We have 83% of the tickets and 96% of the cash on the Royals. So why would it bounce back 20 cents 2 different times? We have 95% of the tickets and 93% of the cash on the over. So Seth Lugo has been maybe the best road warrior in Major League Baseball this year. On the road, he's 7-0 with a 1.83 ERA, 50 strikeouts to 12 walks over 54 innings with a 186 opponent's batting average. Shout out to our guy, Nut Flush Allen, in the house. Then we have Mitch Spence. And it's not just on the road. Seth Lugo's been great everywhere, but he's just been dynamic on the road. Mitch Spence, a really good young pitcher, 3.95 ERA, 1.21 whip. He's only allowed 4 home runs on 57 innings. At home, he's, 2-2, 4.18 ERA, 276 opponents batting average, but not a ton of barrels. His last start, he allowed 4 earned runs over 5 2/3 in an extra inning loss at the Twins. Royals are hitting righties, 253, 730. The A's aren't, 221, 641. And the A's bullpen right now is 1.21 runs better than the Royals bullpen over a 9-inning sample size. Shout out to our guy, Gavin Henry. We got Gavin Henry and Nut Flush Allen in the house. Of course, Gavin Henry is just a phenomenal thoroughbred trainer down in Jamaica, and we love him dearly, giving out winners at Horseshoe Indy nonstop for us. So love you, Gavin. Great to see you here in the chat. Joe Yurkovich says the ebbs and flows. KC is ebbing. Oakland is flowing. So here we go. The situation is ahead of us. Royals, A's, and we've got best bets. We'll start with you, TJ. Take it away. Royals, A's.
You guys know, you've heard me talk about it before, and I'm big on it, that I think there is it is profitable to bet against a sweep, especially when you have a bad team involved. I think Oakland's happy to get the series win. I look at their bullpens, and I do a much smaller sample size than you, Jimmy. Last 2 to 3 weeks, the Oakland's bullpen has been faltering. 4.56 ERA or 4.17 ERA, 4.56 Sierra. They're not striking anyone out. They're walking too many guys. But I'm not going to pay minus 150, minus 160 on Kansas City. We've talked about how good Lugo has been. He just had a great start of the Dodgers. It really doesn't matter who he plays against. Last time he faced Oakland, 10 strikeouts, 2 runs allowed. So I'm going to attack this game the same way I would have if I bet the Dodger game. I'm going to take Lugo to get the win. He's factored into 12 decisions in his 15 starts. And obviously 10-2 on those, but he's pitching. He's only not gone into the 6th inning twice. Every other start, he's either at 6 or 7 innings. And he's got a bad offense he's going against. So I'm going to take Seth Lugo to get the win. Best number I can find right now is plus 105 at DraftKings. I think I've given out 3 or 4 of those to win props here and cashed them all. But yeah, that's what I'm going with.
Seth Lugo for the win at plus 105 for TJ. Daby Cab, best bet time, Royals, A's.
It's so interesting what I'm about to say if you think about it. We essentially TJ and I have different bets, but they're almost like the same thing. Obviously, there are a few outliers that could be different, but in order for Lugo to get the win, the Royals have to be ahead of they have to be winning the game when he comes out of the game, right? That's how baseball works. And I'm on the Royals' first 5 run line. So he got a little better number than me at plus 105. So maybe that's just a better bet. But I'm on the Royals' first 5 run line. Both these pitchers, Lugo in his last, 5-1, 3.15 ERA, 1.09 whip in his last 45 2/3 innings. Spence over that almost the same time, 32 1/3 innings. 1-2 with the 4.18 ERA and a 1.36 whip. So he's been good. One thing I think with Spence is, he started in the bullpen, right? And he's come out of that bullpen and now he's getting into that starter role and he's getting acclimated into it. It's one thing when you come up for a team like, the Dodgers or even with the Astros sucking this year. The Astros, they still have the number 1 offense in baseball. They still have the name. It's a completely another thing when you come up for a team like the A's because there's injuries and stuff like that. He worked his way into the starting role because of injuries with one of the worst teams in baseball. This isn't a spot where I want to see a young pitcher start their starting career, if that makes sense. And I think he's vulnerable for a few runs here. And, with that being the case, I agree with the whole sweep situation. The Royals are a young baseball team that's winning games, and they don't want to get swept right here. They're still fighting to get back into second division. I just think this is a Royal spot through and through.
First 5 minus a half for Daby Cab. Did you tweet this out?
Yes.
What was the juice?
Minus 105.
Very, very interesting breakdowns from both of our guys, Daby Cab and TJ. Let's hear what Jose has to say. Take it away.
I'll keep it short again. No action. I lean A's again. I've enjoyed watching the Royals flounder, and I hope they keep doing it. So no action, but Seth Lugo is obviously very good. I think this line should be like minus 170, like it was yesterday with Cole Raggins, and it being down to minus 140. A little sus for me, so no action.
I'm very interested in the under, and I think that I will move to the first 5 and the first 3. Rod's Wacky says Mitch Spence, a trash can. The Royals smashed them already this year, and they do it again. KC raced to 6 at plus 175. That might get me off of it. Anonymous user says, give me Seth or give me Death. TJ, what do you think of the under in this spot? Obviously, Rod Zawacki making me uncomfortable, with the Spence gas can stuff. But what do you think, TJ, of the under in this spot?
I mean, the market's telling you that they think both pitchers shove. I don't like unders in day games in Oakland. The ball travels better there in the day. At night, unders are solid in Oakland. And Spence is a bit of an unknown. I think you can count on Oakland not getting over 3, over 4, maybe at best. Does Kansas City turn it on and get 5 or 6, and you're in trouble? I don't know. My numbers have it at an 8.2. So at 7.5, I'd be off.
I was going to stay away from the bullpens. I was going to go just focus on the starters in this one. Joey Rivers says KC offense kind of struggling, and KC -1 is the Pissy Cheerios play of the day. Says bring on this public dog. I don't think that's the situation. 17% of the tickets and 4% of the cash are on the dog. They're certainly not public here. Okay, I'll sit with this on my own time. I do not want to double up, but the first 3 under 2.5 might be as appealing or more appealing, except that's -130, and I don't want to turn it into a 2. The 4.5 was heavily juiced and moved to 4. So I'll figure this out on my own time. Great stuff, gentlemen. You guys will be back in action with us here in 2 games. We have 2 games that we will be breaking down, and then we will have you rolling with us here shortly. So we have our guys, Cab on Royals, first 5 -1/2, and TJ on Lugo to win. We will see you guys here shortly. So Jose and I roll on. Jose, as you know, I've been we have Gavin Henry, Indianapolis Horseshoe Race 9, 4, 6, 8, 10 exacta and try box, and playing the 6 to win, hoping that he will stay close to this 12-1 money line. The ROI from Gavin Henry's Horseshoe Indianapolis bets here has been unbelievable. Thank you for taking the time to jump on with us, Gavin. It means a ton. And I will tail that action. 9th race today at Horseshoe Indianapolis from our friend Gavin Henry. As you guys know, it's day 9 of COVID for me, and that sucks. It's just sticking in my lungs, and it's really bad at night. I'm okay in the daytime generally, but it's really bad at night. And as much as it makes me angry, it doesn't seem to make everybody angry. And we had a video Jose sent in, and I guess we just
it gets really bad at night, Jimmy. Yeah. You might even say it comes to life.
Omicron, motherfucker! That's right! I'm back, baby! And I'm stronger than ever! Jimmy, you thought you could escape me, but you can never get away from the one and the only Omicron! But I've got something to cheer you up, Jimmy. Don't worry. All the sniffles, the coughs, can't taste all your Tim Horton Canadian bullshit food. Oh, don't worry. I've got a winner for you, Jimmy. Louis Gill and the Yankees will be back for Revenga. That's right. Don't overthink it, my little Canadian butterball. You go ahead and put all your Canadian loons on Louis Gill. He's gonna come back and show those Baltimore Orioles that just like the vaccine, they're just not strong enough. Oh, 'cause when he don't wash his hands, Jimmy's not there for his fans, and it ruins his plans. But I'm here for it, man. I'm the Omicron. I'm the only one. I'm back, baby.
What a maniacal laugh from Omicron. What a maniacal laugh.
Oh man, he's so happy.
Yeah, he's
just
back.
so happy that he's got in my lungs again.
Yeah. How do you feel about being called a Canadian butterball?
I deserve it. I haven't been to the gym in 3 weeks.
Boo.
By the way, before we talk about this spot, Luis Heel, DC Capper, both New York Yankees being backed by both DC Capper and the Omicron virus.
Yeah, I was wondering, what was Omicron on?
He is on the New York Yankees and Luis Heel. It is 2-0 Seattle immediately. Wow. 2-0 Seattle immediately. I wonder if that means let's just take a look at the live, because we're going to be able to make moves live here. As I know we're talking here, but of course they don't let me get the Seattle games. All right, let's see what they're going to be offering, but it's a 2-0 Mariners lead immediately. See what they're going to give me live for the Guardians. Okay, let's get back to here. So we have Omicron on the New York Yankees. BJ also on the New York Yankees. Orioles, Yankees, Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. Let's take a look at the weather in New York. 93 Fahrenheit. Feels like 95 at first pitch. 10.1 miles per hour right to left across the diamond. Let's get into the line history here for this one. I got the first 5 ups. Why don't we touch on the first 5? From a first 5 scenario, we have we have this sitting at 4.5. So we've had no movement. There's been times where it got a little bit juiced, but no movement at all on the first 5 total. Has there been any movement on the full game total? This full game total is sitting right now at 8.5, a minus 103 to the under. So yes, we've had movement here. We've had 10 cents towards the over in that one in the full game. On the money line, we are sitting here with these New York Yankees at minus 147, opening up at minus 138, a 9 cents of movement towards these New York Yankees. And then when we get to the total in this one, the cash flow total, 90% of tickets and 89% of the cash is on the New York Yankees. And on the total, we have, here we go, 90% of tickets and 89% of cash on the over. So similar numbers, heavy on the over and heavy on the Yankees. Now, our guy here, Justin McKelvey, has cashed 10 straight stacks plays of the day, double digits. Sports Money just took the under 10.5 live, but says, I don't think it's Cleveland's day. I'm still not getting anything available for me on the money line or anything. I see that there's a 10.5 dark. Now it's available. Just plus 155, really? That's it? I'm a little surprised, but that total immediately moving to 9.5. So nice job getting the 10.5. Cole Irvin, 6-3, 3.03 ERA, 1.23 WHIP, 51 strikeouts over 68 in the third. His last start, he allowed 4 runs, 3 of which were earned in a 6-3 loss at home versus the Braves. We often see Cole Irvin seemingly deal with arm fatigue. Wonder if it's starting to happen here. On the road, he's been good this year. He's been good everywhere. He's just coming off a bad start is all. He's been good everywhere. A 3.33 ERA, 255 opponents batting average, 18 Ks, 5 walks. Luis Heel has been very good. Now, 2 starts back, he got touched up. I believe it was the Dodgers got him. Last start, he only makes it through 5 innings, and he walks 4 at the Red Sox. Is his luster wearing off? At home, he's been lights out phenomenal. 5-0, 1.58 ERA, 55 strikeouts in 40 innings, does have 18 walks, with a 125 opponents batting average. Orioles are smashing righties right now. 267, 822 OPS. Same can be said about the Yankees. 257, 794 OPS. Orioles bullpen, 3.14 ERA, 1.14 WHIP. The Yankees bullpen got touched up again yesterday. This Yankees bullpen does not look good. Does not look good. Let's get into the... Oh, we've got everything set here. We're all set. So, Jose, take it away for us here. Are you backing Omicron?
No. And I liked his remix as well of the song at the end. That was nice. Don't think Omicron's not creative. Let's tell you that. But no action here again for me, unfortunately. I actually did lean Yankees. Everyone knows I don't like taking -1 run lines, etc. But I couldn't get there at the end of the day. I like Justin McElvee's team total over 4.5 look as well. This is going to be a fun game. It's going to be a tight game, I think. So I kind of lean under here, but no action here, unfortunately, for me. More interested in the games we have to come.
Joe Yeager says Heel got an offense behind him. Do you expect Aaron Judge in the lineup? He's listed as a probable in the lineup.
I don't know. What did he do the other day? I'm confusing people because I'm thinking he got hit in the hand, but I think that's Mookie that got hit in the hand.
That's a fracture here. Let's see.
But I'm not sure if they both got hit in the hand. I think they actually did, and his things just came back negative.
Yeah, it came back negative. He wasn't available off the bench last night. So you know what? He wasn't available off the bench with the whole game on the line.
I don't think so. He'll be available today.
I don't think he'll be available here.
I would be surprised if he played. It probably swelled up. I don't think that swelling is going to go away in a day. I don't think he could probably grip a bat as much as he wants to right now, but we'll see. By the end of the program, I wouldn't be surprised if we had more words on them.
A DC capper cashing the Nerfy. We are on our way with our unders in that one. Doug says, I like the Orioles regardless of Judge playing or not, and spreadsheet is liking the Yankees here. Rod Zwack, the Yankees are 8-0 in day games following a loss.
If you like the Yankees, just wait for a confirmed lineup. The line's going to go down if Judge isn't in there, probably.
Oh, that's a really good point. No, I don't have but Judge could have strolled up to the plate and that stadium would have gone bonkers. Like that, after Verdugo made that catch. I mean, did you see that catch last night?
Yeah, I saw it run into the wall. Everyone was freaking out about it. I was like, am I supposed to be impressed by this? I was not impressed, but whatever. It's fine.
I mean, Devon White would have been there, 3 steps earlier, but
yeah, it's like, it's definitely the Nomar, and it was, I think, Trot Nixon. That was a comparison people use in Fenway and stuff, or JD Drew and something like that. But yeah, no, I understand completely.
All right, Kuji Cam looking for the birthday pick. We got you, Kuji Cam.
And I actually shared the screen with Kuji Cam the other day. Nice guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, nice guy.
Dope. Oh, nice. I'd love to see that, man. We get him on this screen too, man. Okay, so at this point, there's no move for me. Omicron on the New York Yankees. Justin McKelvey, Stacks play today, has hit again 10 in a row for our guy, Justin McKelvey. Let's roll here.
Get the Bill Russell 11, Justin. Get that Bill Russell 11.
Justin McKelvey eating, man. I love to see it.
No.
Let's roll on here and talk about Rickwood Field in Birmingham, Alabama. Morgan Spooner gave us the dimensions here. 325 to left, 393 to center, and 332 to right. Let's get into the weather in Birmingham, Alabama for this one. 93 Fahrenheit, 7.4 miles per hour in. Gets down to 88 and 5.6 miles per hour in. Oh, ribeye play today. Almost missed it. Ribeye play today is Mountcastle at plus 185. And that ribeye video is very close as well. Do we have the work in progress with it?
Yeah, I mean, I have the ones that I sent you a while back. Yeah.
Okay, let's just show. No, this isn't it. This isn't it. But we are working on it here. This is the work in progress here. I don't want to show the Stacks work in progress. I think we can add to that, but this is just the funny work in progress.
and I want you to guess whose idea was the base of this video. So shout out to you, Justin McKelvey, Ryan Mountcastle, Stacks play, or ribeye play of the day.
Close. It's so close. It's so close. Can I see it one more time? Let me see one more time. like her so much. I really like her.
Yeah,
I really like her.
yeah. I understand. A lot of people are going to enjoy that.
Okay. I'm more work on it. Okay.
I'm glad we did this with this game right here, where we're going to talk about the great Willie Mays. Let's lead it in with the stacks or start ribeye play of the day. Here's this woman cooking some lovely steak. Let's just show it a third time. We might as well, right?
Maybe it's just ready. Maybe it's just ready. Maybe it's just ready. Okay. We have runners on the corners, by the way. Or no, first and second. Runners on first and second here with no out for the Guardians. The plus 155 long gone. Should have just moved on it right away. That's a juicy meatball. You're right. Why does Mikey's face look so disgusted? Mikey should be so. Look, yeah, I promise. It's a good start. Don't you think we're in a really good start, Jose?
Good start. Saturated says that we need Jimmy and I floating down the river in a tube in the background as well.
Nobody wants to see us. Nobody wants to see us. But I'm telling you, Mikey, we are on our way. I told you we're on our way. We are on our way. That just needs a couple things here. I'm close. We're close to it. Yes. To say, hey, kid, Willie Mays. You know, when he said he couldn't be at the game, I should have realized.
That was a big red flag.
Yeah.
And that's where he was born and everything as well. So, yeah, no, people were starting to guess actually then. But, yeah.
So, did you, because I know you are Say Hey Plays Today, did you want to talk about the great Willie Mays, the Say Hey Kid?
Sure. More All-Star games than seasons played.
24?
24 All-Star games. The Ted Williams actually said that they made the All-Star game for players like Willie Mays. Shout out to Ted Williams. And I saw
the
that
great
Willie
Ted
Mays,
Williams. God, he's a class act. What a class act.
A Mexican American, not white Ted Williams. So
is there a classier guy in the history of our sport?
You're saying it like that, like you're being a little sarcastic now.
I'm not. I think Ted Williams, I think what he said there in the Hall of Fame speeches was in that day and age was why he had to leave the MLB, to be a fighter pilot, everything about him. I mean, he's just he's just the classiest guy. I mean, you could say Lou Gehrig. I mean, look, there's classy guys in the sport, but Ted Williams, one of a kind. Sorry, keep rolling, Jose.
Yeah, I mean, he won a World Series, and I think he won the World Series, a year after fucking fighting in whatever war was in 1954. It's just like ridiculous how good he was. He was the greatest baseball player living for a very, very long time. It's crazy. And then again, the other crazier thing that he hands that baton off to his like godson or whatever. It's funny. Here's some random stats. Mays is the one of only 30 players to hit 50 home runs in a single season, and he did it twice, and he did it a decade apart as well. So that's crazy. Also, when he started playing, he was 17. If you look at the team he played with, the ages were like 28, 32, 25, 40, old as fuck. And then Willie Mays at 17. Playing on that team was crazy. He's the greatest. And I said this yesterday. You could make a case for a lot of people to be the greatest baseball player of all time. It's kind of a hard thing to do in baseball, but Willie Mays has one of the most ironclad, resumes. Arguably, probably the best defensive center fielder, outfielder in baseball history. 600 home runs, and the whole thing. And they did another thing. They did like math on like. If Willie Mays didn't miss this 1 year for WAR, what would his home run totals would have been, especially because he was dummy young. He would have allegedly, according to the math, he would have broken the home run record, and he would have had it for exactly one summer, and then Hank Aaron would have broken it the year after. So he could have been the home run leader. He's an amazing human being as well as baseball player, civil rights activist, et cetera, et cetera. So
if he didn't play at Candlestick Park,
with
over 800 home runs. And when they built that park. They went and visited it in the daytime and they're like, okay, this feels good. At nighttime, if they had gone there at that night, they would have said, no, there's no way we can build a stadium there. The wind cost them what? He says it didn't cost them that many. Things cost them maybe 50 or 60, but I could easily cost them 100. Gamblers first glance winner from Razor Sharp Picks with Mets Texas under 8.5 last night, and he is on the Giants money line at plus 102 in this one.
So I'll go ahead. Sorry.
No, keep going, my man.
I was just gonna say I fucked up yesterday going up against the Troy Torrance family and picking the Giants here, but I'm going right back to them here. So shout out to you, Razor.
Gamblers first glance is in, and I got to play this again. Don't need anything else. I'll sit with it. But that just feels so good. Gamblers first glance is in, and it is the San Francisco Giants on the money line. Shout out to our Razor Sharp Picks. We've had great graphics today, Jose. Some added stuff here that I just can't get enough of. Excellent work. Your producing has been top notch. This was a little questionable.
Are we
this
sure?
This was a little questionable. I'm not entirely sure how this.
Are you not interested?
Well, of course I'm interested, but I'm just surprised that it made the cut here.
I think there's some people out there that really enjoy that.
I'm surprised that it made the cut. And for some reason, I respect it. I don't even know why I respect it. So let's roll. We have the Gamblers first glance and Jose Bouquet on the Giants. So we have Morgan Spooner loading up on the Cards versus Keaton Wynn. Let's talk about the line history, and then let's get right to Jose on why he is backing the San Francisco Giants. Right now, the Giants are at minus 103, now minus 104. They opened up at plus 110, so 14 cents of movement towards the San Francisco Giants. Let's get into the total. 1-0 Tampa, by the way. 1-0 Tampa. Good. By the way, Jose, trusting the market in that one. This total is at 9. Opened up at 8.5, got up to 9, went down to 8.5, got up to 9. I mean, we remember the Field of Dreams Stadium and how quickly that went over with Big Tits Lynn on the mound. Is that something that can happen here with Palante and Wynn? Wynn's last start was good. It was at home versus the Angels, who don't hit righties, and he looked very good. Now, he's had 24 and 2/3 innings on the road, and he's looked horrific. 9.12 ERA, 3.10 opponent's batting average. Palante coming off a 5-1 loss at the Cubs. He only made it through 3 1/3, but he didn't pitch bad there. The Giants are not hitting righties, 246, 92 OPS, while the Cardinals are raking 262, 758, and both bullpens have been very good. Tell us why you were on the San Francisco Giants, Jose.
Yeah, so obviously romanticizing baseball fucks me up yesterday, and I shouldn't probably do it again, but I mean, again, this is Willie Mays' team where he was born a few days after he dies. I am not betting against those fucking ghosts. I said this with Bill Walton on the Bill Walton day. They had the whole thing for the Celtics. They weren't going to lose that night. And I was just a day early, it seemed. But they're not going to lose today here. Jimmy, is this a series? They're playing 1 or 2 games here? I was trying to figure that out, and I was looking just now, and I couldn't find it in this short time. But what I like to do in these games, and it worked for us in the London game, and the Field of Dreams game is I think an outlier because it was in the height of like juice balls and such. They needed that to work because that was their first game, and I think it was pretty obvious they used juice balls in that game to get the offense going, honestly.
Yes, but this is a one-off.
It's a one-off. Okay, so that's tougher because I like personally going under in the first game, and if there was a second game, I'd like going over in that one. But I think this is an under kind of game, honestly. I think this is different eyesights, different environments. I think this is an under game, even with 2 of these pitchers that I don't like. I don't like Keaton Wynn. I don't like He's pitched well. Like you mentioned, his last start was good. Andre Palante has been shocking to me. Like he's been quietly, maybe like the third best Cardinals pitcher in this team, and he's a fucking relief pitcher. And he's been good to me at least, and I bet on him. So the three bets that I wanted to make, I was sitting on. Giants have already made money line -107. I wanted to take Andre Palante over outs in this game as well. And you guys typically know if I'm taking an over outs and a pitcher, it's because their bullpen is pretty exhausted. Now, we talked about it yesterday. Who was the pitcher that got ruled out? Was it Sonny Gray? I already forgot. But whoever got ruled out for Matthew Libb, he pitched and he didn't throw that much. And they just had basically a bullpen day going into it. The nice part about this for the Cardinals is that their three best relievers are still available. Kittredge, JoJo Romero, and Hensley did not throw have not thrown since Monday and haven't thrown Tuesday or Wednesday. So that's nice for them. So that makes me believe that Palante goes pretty deep because, again, John King, Chris Roycroft, Kyle Leahy, and Matty Libb are all going to be down. So that leaves us Ryan Fernandez, who was thrown a shitload. I don't know if he'll be available. And then those other three guys. So I think they'll need him to go a bunch. I was looking for that over outs prop, and it hadn't come out yet earlier. So we'll see if I make that official. Now, the Giants, they're kind of in the same boat as well because they had a bullpen day with Eric Miller and a little Spencer Howard as well, but they have a shitload of bodies back there, according to RotoWire. So here are the guys you won't see. Spencer Blevins, Eric Miller, Spencer Howard, Sean Jelly, all gone. That leaves us Tyler Rogers. Taylor Rogers threw 15 pitches yesterday, so I think he'll still be available. We have a guy named Randy Rodriguez. Duvall hasn't thrown since Monday. Ryan Walker and Luke Jackson both will be available too. So I think this is and again, the best part about all these guys being tired is that they're all the shit pitchers, like the lesser bullpen arms. So we'll get the fresh, ready to go arms. So under is going to be the other play I'm going to make in this game. I'll lay off of Palante outs. Maybe I'm not too, confident in my pitching props in that aspect yet. We've gone 2-0 in these kind of situations, but and I need to see what the thing is. Like if he's like 5 innings, can we get 5 innings of Palante? I would do that. 6 is be a little dicier, but 92% of the bets and money on the over in this game. I'll gladly be on the other side of that. Sure, it has gone up to a 9. It was an 8.5 at Bet Online, and it was juiced, so I'm okay with that. So under in this game, under 9 at -110.
Wow. Fun breakdown. Giants -107, under 9, -110. Gamblers first glance on the Giants money line. I feel pretty uncomfortable with the entire situation from an angle-driven standpoint. So at this point, I will cheer on Gamblers first glance and Jose as well as the under. And, TJ said, I worry everyone has an over bias on these one-off fields. Wouldn't shock me one bit if the under hits.
Yeah, that's what's happened to me. That's how I learned, TJ. Like, I remember betting fucking overs, and then just losing on all of them. And I think the juice ball era definitely has something to do with that. Because obviously we remember the first cornfield game. Tim Anderson home run. It was like 12-10 final. And then people also remember the games in London with the Red Sox Yankees where they put the most juice balls they've ever had in a fucking game. And it was like 40 runs combined. So I agree with that. I'm
surprised that Keaton wins only plus 100 to get the W.
That is kind of surprising. Yeah, I thought it would be much higher than that.
I'm gonna check, see what is it, these books here. That's so low that makes me want to take the Giants. All right, 2-2 in Cleveland. That plus 155. I understand why I wanted more, but I guess the books were telling us how live they were. But all right, let's move on to our final game on today's program and bring back our experts, TJ and Dabra Cadabra. Welcome back, fellas. Here we are. Milwaukee Brewers 44-30, 22-18 on the road at the San Diego Padres 38-40, 18-21 at home. Petco Park. We have Bryce Wilson, and we talk about baby got back. Bryce Wilson. If you put Bryce Wilson's face on her, that's what we should do. That's what we should do. We should get Bryce Wilson's face on her because she looks a lot like Bryce Wilson. Going up against Adam Mazer here. And Gamblers, first glance number 2 from Mazer is your San Diego Padres and Adam Mazer. Adam Mazer, who is not throwing many innings this year, 12 2/3 innings. Adam Mazer's last start at the Mets, 3 2/3, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 4 Ks, and 6 walks here. Let's take a look at the situation. We'll start with the weather. We'll start with the weather here at Petco. It's 68 Fahrenheit, 8.2 miles per hour in. Dies down to 7.8, if that counts. Benjamin Mills says Padres cross-country trip with no day off. Teams in that spot are 11-6 this season. Isn't that wild, Benjamin? Such an important statistic that you dropped because you would think that would make them exhausted. That doesn't seem to be the case. Doug on the Brewers, -102. DC Kepper on the Brewers, -108. And Joe Yurkovich liking the Brewers on the run line. So, Reginald Code says, why are some betting on the Padres? They travel 2,500 miles, have bad starting pitcher, bad bullpen, 0 days off. What am I missing? Well, let's talk about the line history here and whether you should be concerned. First off, from a total standpoint, we're sitting at an 8.5. This did jump up to 9. It jumped up to 9 at 11:25 a.m. and only lasted there for about an hour and a half. It's back at 8.5. Now, there has been 16 cents of movement towards the over. Let's get to the money line here for this one. On the money line, we're sitting here with Adam Mazer and the Padres at -104. They opened up at +106. So we've had 10 cents of movement towards these Padres. Then we get to the cash flow here. 67% of tickets, 71% cash on the over, and 63% of tickets, 59% cash on the Brewers. So the Padres, 10-cent move towards them with 37% of tickets and 41% of cash on them. So Bryce Wilson coming off a great start, 3-1 win at home over the Reds. He's been very good this year. He's been so good in Milwaukee. On the road, he's not been nearly as strong, but a very impressive season for Bryce. Adam Mazer, a young kid with a ton of potential. The Brewers have the bullpen advantage. The Padres are hitting righties a lot harder. Let's get right into best bets. We'll start with you, TJ. Take it away, Brewers, Padres. TJ, you muted my mic.
I remuted it. I thought I was muted, and I actually muted myself. Yeah, so I saw what everybody else sees with the Milwaukee. I think they have an advantage in all 3 aspects. Like you said, San Diego traveled. Milwaukee was just in LA, so it's right down the road. And it seemed obvious to me to take Milwaukee, but then I see what the market's doing, and it makes me think both these pitchers get touched. Otherwise, I don't think they believe in Bryce Wilson. Like you said, Bryce Wilson on the road hasn't been great. The Padres' best 2 relievers have been used in back-to-back days. So, I don't like that for their side of it. It kind of makes me lean towards runs. So I'm going to take the full game over here. There's still 8.5s available. Looks like BetOnline has -123 on the 8.5, circa -120. I don't know what books we consider usable.
Those are both, any legit book, whether legal or offshore.
Yeah, so I'm going to go over 8.5 here. Sorry, that's not a great analysis, but I think both offenses can get to both pitchers, and if Missouri doesn't go long, which I don't think he's going to, you get 5-6 innings of San Diego's bullpen, and I would like to be up with that.
And we can get you that over 8.5 -117 right now at Pinnacle. Dabra Cadabra, Brewers, Padres, take it away.
Yeah, I swear we didn't mean to do this. TJ and I don't even talk, but I think the same thing. I think Mazer gets hit off. Obviously, if you look at his numbers, he's thrown 12 2/3 innings. He's given up 13 hits and there's a fly in front of me. 13 hits and 13 walks in just 12 2/3 innings. That's terrible. He's allowing way too many base runners here. And then on the other side, Wilson, as many flaws as the Padres have, one flaw that they don't have is righties. They've been hitting righties extremely well. If we just circle the last 12 days, or not 12 days, but last 12 games, Padres are hitting 268 off righties. That's 224 at bats. So there's enough of a sample size. And the Brewers, I looked at their last 10 games. They've been down a little bit in their last 10 games against righties, but over their last 20 games, which is still an acceptable sample size, they're hitting 257 against righties. And if they're only hitting 222 in their last 10 games, that says how hot that they really were before that to be hitting 257 in their last 20 games against righties. So both of these teams are two of the better hitting teams in baseball this year. Both of these teams like right-handers. Wilson has been good this year. I'll give you that. But if you look at the line, the fact that the Padres, I mean, this should be Brewers minus 135, in my opinion. This line it doesn't make too much sense. So I think it's telling you he might get hit also. First 5 over 4.5 here.
Oh, first 5 over 4.5. Did you tweet this one out too?
Yes, I did.
First 5 over 4.5 with what juice?
Minus 115.
Minus 115 for Daby Cab. Jose Bouquet. We have Cabby on the first 5 over. TJ on the full game over. Razor, Gambler's First Glance, Padres. What is your plan?
Yeah, I don't. Molly the dog barking for the first time in decades. Yeah, I was gonna move on the Padres here, and I think I am going to. This dog never barks, and now you're just gonna continue barking here.
Let's stay focused.
But yes, Padres full game for me. I thought this line was questionable to begin with. And I was surprised to see that Mazer was getting this much, love, credit.
Unless, do you think you're being robbed? Is that why do you think you're being robbed right now?
Maybe there's someone at the door, but I'm not going to go right now.
Okay, I respect that.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at her just chilling. But okay. I just think at the end of the day, I think this line is kind of an indication. It's moved all the way to the Padres here. And there's, let me double check here. You said it, obviously, 63% of the bets, 59% of the money on the Padres. And yet we went from a minus 115 to now minus 107 for them here. So, yeah, give me the Padres full game. And TJ's right. I hope Adam Mazer, go 2 innings, Adam. That's fine. Give me the Padres bullpen that I actually believe in, trust in. Somehow, some way, the Padres have become a bullpen factory, and shout out to them. They've been cultivating these arms. I'm impressed, but basically full, ready to go bullpen. The only guy that isn't going to pitch probably today, Jeremiah Estrada threw 15 on back-to-back days, and Robert Suarez threw 13 and 9. That's their closer. I'd be a little more concerned on that one. It's obviously little amount of pitches, but managers don't like using relief pitchers 3 days in a row. So I'll trust Adam, the bullpen here, and I'll go full game money line for the Padres minus 107 for me.
You are locked in, Jose. We have Daby Cab on the first 5 over 4.5. TJ on the full game over 8.5, and the Padres at minus 107. I enjoyed this show immensely. Great job from our experts. It's great to have both TJ and Daby Cab, have them both on the same games and both with correlated action. TJ, I know you got to run. Thank you so much for your time, my man. I'm going to pop TJ's Twitter handle here in the chat. Let's follow him. It was great that he tweeted out the action that he wanted to. Did we get out of the inning? No. That he wanted to lock down a line, and I love capping with them. TJ, any last words for the cappers supporting the show?
No, appreciate your support. Get that membership, get in the race, and hit that like button.
I love it. There's our guy TJ. I'm going to pop his Twitter handle here in the chat, and there we go. Daby Cab, star of Medicate Mondays. Daby Cab, excellent work, my friend. We've seen you heat up enormously college basketball, and this is not, things ebb and flow, man. That's all. Things ebb and flow, and that's all that's happening here. So nothing to worry about at all. Beavis has just called me Jimmy the Vag. I hope that doesn't catch on. I'm hoping that doesn't catch on. Says, can you please put that pic of that hot old lady before the show closes up one more time, please? Absolutely. And your grandma is wearing your sister's panties again. Play of the day is Milwaukee and the under 8.5. The Brewers and the under 8.5. He is looking at Gambler's First Glance and Jose Bouquet's action and
spitting on it.
Fading on it.
Spitting on it.
So, Daby Cab, excellent work, my man. Please support Daby Cab in all of his endeavors here with us at Pub. It means a ton to us, and he means a ton to us. Daby Cab, any last words here for the Capper Sporting Show?
Yeah, man. We love you guys in the chat. We don't have anything without you. Jimmy always says that. It's the truth, man. We got to win today. I'm going to win today. That's 3-0. I gave you 3 bets. That's 3 W's. So let's get paid, and I'll be back tomorrow.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Rod Zwacky gifting a Pub Sports Radio membership. Whack Prescott. Great to see Whack back in business, man. I know it's almost football time when we see Whack Prescott rolling with us. And thank you, Rod, so much for all that you do for us, man. Sports Money, Mikey Money. There's 2 gamblers first glances, 2 of them. And the first one is the Giants. Second one is the San Diego Padres. Let's review.
I have some good news for you, Jimmy. On my local finally put up the Copa America futures for the group, so I bet Venezuela. So we're good now.
Oh, nothing's changed here. Nothing's changed.
Okay,
here.
that's still fine.
I locked in. You can't just call up and say, "Oh,
no, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. I anticipated this answer. I just doubled up on it.
You can just pull it away? No, you're in fucking deep, man. You're in fucking deep.
I expected this kind of answer, so I just made sure to realize that, okay, I'll probably put $50 on this now, but
unfucking believable. This guy thinks
okay
he can get out that easy. No, you can't. No, you can't. And you're gonna wake up, there's gonna be a dead raccoon in your bed. That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, just the head. Just the head. Good.
That's what's gonna happen, man.
Fuck.
Let's review all action here. Gavin Henry gave us his look on the 9th race at Horseshoe, Indiana, and he's been crushing it.
I wish I could bet that track.
You can't?
No, I can't. Never listed for me. It's never been listed. I wish I could. I would be tailing you, Gavin.
And there is no horse race today. Remember, it's Thursday. What am I talking about?
Well, we did our we did our Thursday one on Monday, or we're gonna do 3 this week. Is that what we're gonna do?
Yeah, we're doing 3 this week.
Oh, okay,
So
we're doing
my bad.
3.
I'm tripping.
Right.
I'm tripping. Yeah, horse race. We'll get going here. Let's get the dogs. Let's get the greyhounds back up, Jose. Let's get the greyhounds back up.
Yeah, there's a lot of different options as well. He showed us there's different kinds of horses as well. There's camels. We got a lot of different options here. That's the greyhounds.
What other options are there?
I know for sure that there's some very goofy looking horses.
Okay, I don't want that.
They look ridiculous.
No.
But we obviously have camels as well. Let me pull up the site.
Let's camel race.
Okay.
Let's camel race today. We're gonna camel race today. I've got a little bit. We finished in okay time. Swiggy said he won with the goofy horses on Monday. Anybody puts goofy in front of horses again, I'm gonna lose my shit. All right, these are equine athletes that we love and respect. Want to make fun of camels? Make fun of camels, okay?
Please.
Now, I'd like 2 heats. Can we do 2 heats?
Sure. Yes. We also have when the Olympics are coming soon, guys. So we also have a swimming. We have races, literal races with their feetsies. It's going to be very interesting. But yes,
Okay.
camel races today. Going to be very fun.
Let's do camel races. Actually, should we do 3 heats? So then we'll be left with 9. Is that too much, Az? Can we do that? What do you need? So 24 in each heat?
Sure. I have to figure out how many Pub Sports Radio Gold members there are right now.
Let me know. If we have 72, that would be 24 in each heat. I thought we had 70, something like that, low 70s. All right, we're going to get to racing. 1-minute races. We're going to do 3 rounds. I'm going to review all action here. And let's also take a quick look at where we are live. Diamondbacks, Nationals. Scoreless. Feel good there. Mariners, Guardians are 2-2 after 3, and the Twin Keys Rays are 1-1 in the top of the 3rd. Looks like the Rays have a runner on 3rd with 1 out, so could get him home. I'm assuming it's a man. So now, I coming off a losing day and I need a winning day. If I can get these unders through in Arizona, Washington, and Seattle, Cleveland, I may let go of my first 5 under 4 in the Royals Oakland game.
We know what this means.
The last time I was in this situation, I didn't let go, and it was the Royals were in, and it was the first 5 under, and then I went 3-1, and it made me angry. Nats homer. Okay. 1-0 Washington. I'm fine with that.
It's fine, yeah.
Lane Thomas. Yeah. I'm fine. That's fine. Nothing. No concerns here. Everything's fine.
Somebody's
So-
going to win the game.
But I am interested in that first 5 under. Yes, I'm very interested in thinking that the Alouettes might be a powder keg. Now, again, when you're going up against these cappers that are on the Red Blacks, I'm going to need to take some more time with it. I'm not just going to hammer it here. Cameron Sinnott, Denmark versus England, plus 250 pre-flop draw and plus 425. Great work, Cameron. Absolutely great work. Absolutely great work. 2-1 Tampa Bay now, Jose. You can feel good about that spot there. And wow, I didn't know Donald Sutherland passed away. Sad to hear.
Kiefer's dad?
Him and Kiefer, they're Toronto guys.
Oh,
yeah.
Didn't know that.
Oh,
so you're a big 24 guy.
I never watched one episode of 24. I didn't even know what nothing to say about that. Nothing to say about that. So WNBA action, we have the Billings over 23.5 points, rebounds, and assists up on its way with Dallas, Chicago Sky, and Liberty first quarter minus 4.5 for Brizzy. In CFL, I'm on the first half under 24.5. Rod Zawacki very confident in the full game under. Slatsy and I are on the first half under. I'm starting to come towards the Alouettes. Starting to come towards the Alouettes here. And then the most important thing here is, what do I do with the Stanley Cup final? We want our closest friends and the cappers that we respect to inspire us towards greatness, not to fill us with such rage that we add action that we don't need. And, Mikey Money's belief in the Oilers was very enjoyable when the Panthers were up 3-0. Watching the Oilers cash back-to-back and him being so confident. I was actually coming in here trying to decide whether I take the Oilers to win the series to hedge the Panthers' first game in series. I only got plus 135 on that too, so I would bet a little less on the Oilers than I bet because it was a full unit. And then, or do it game to game. And now now anger is getting in the way of my capping. It's okay because I have the video of the ribeye play today, which I can play over and over and over and over again. Jose, can you put it on one more time for us? Because that makes me start loving Mike again.
Yeah. God bless you, Mike. God bless you in all your endeavors here.
Also, it wasn't easy to find her. There are a lot of hideous women who love to barbecue.
Sure.
So I'm on the first period under 1.5 and the full game under 5.5 with confidence.
Would you say the barbecue makes them hideous?
No, I would say their looks make them hideous.
All right, hey, fair.
I still think it needs one more thing, Mike. But now watching it, maybe it needs nothing. It's much, I'm happy that we showed it because I thought it needed one more thing, but maybe it doesn't. I don't know. So then in baseball, I doubled up first 5 full game under Arizona, Washington. Sharpies on D-backs team total under 2.5 for 7, and Jose's on the full game under 8.5. Then TJ's on the first 5 under 4.5 in Seattle, Cleveland. We're now in the top of the 4th, so it's not. He was very concerned. He doesn't need to be too concerned. There's a chance. Mariners team total under 4, also for TJ. And I moved on the Guardians minus 123. I didn't take them on the minus 1 line. Jose is on the Rays at plus 124, going heads up with Rod Zawacki's 10-star play today on the Twins, and Gerald Jones' best bet on the Twins first 5 minus a half.
Suck it,
TJ,
Rod.
In 14 minutes, TJ's next action comes in. First 5 under 5 in Astros White Sox, and Yordan Alvarez for Daby Cab over 1.5 bases. 3:10 p.m. Jose's Rockies team total over 4.5 becomes in business. Lit Picks, our guy Lit Picks said, I'm a gamble till I die play day. Number 1, Kansas City first 5 run line, and number 2, full game run line, double up spot. And Lit Picks, I'm a gamble till I die plays today are 9-3. Cabs on the Royals first 5 minus a half. TJ's on Lugo to record the win, and I am interested in this first 5 under. I'm interested. Again, I want to go 3-0 so badly. So, we'll take a little more time. Jeffrey Moore says my biggest future combination is Florida 4-2. Oh, Jeff. Oh, let's get that home. Now we need Kuji Cam's birthday pick. Omicron is on the Yankees. Justin McKelvey, who's hit 10 straight stacks play of the days, is on the Yankees team total over 4.5. Too legit in the house. Too legit to fucking quit. Did you guys handicap Brewers Padres? Yeah, we kept. Look at the show's been on for almost 3 hours. You think we didn't cap that? No, we're about to race, Ron. We're about to race. So yes, too legit. We'll get there in a second. Jose's on the Giants -107 and the under 9. Razor Sharp picks Gambler's first glance is the Giants, and Morgan Spooner's loaded up on cards props against win. And Nut Flush Allen, our San Francisco Giants whisperer, is looking at the Cardinals team total over. Then sports money, Mikey Money. Your grandma's wearing your sister's panties again. Play today. Milwaukee in the under 8.5. That's a +300. And no, we're not, Ron. We are not going with the 100. I will talk to you about that. You are still up 50 at this point. We're not moving this one to 100. This is just a $50 race, and I'll talk to you all about that. And then in the Brewers Padres game, Daby Cab on the first 5 over 4.5. TJ on the full game over 8.5. And Jose is on the Padres -107. Razor Sharp picks Gambler's first glance number 2 is the Padres -101. So that is all of our action. So for Kuji Cam, we need a birthday pick from today. It's Justin McKelvey's birthday tomorrow, but Kuji Cam wants it today. And I'm stuck between the Ottawa Montreal first half under 24.5. I think that the best bet on the board is I would give the full game under 5.5 in the hockey game tonight with 98% of tickets and cash on the over and 2 straight overs. But it is possible that the empty nets can ruin that. So I will say the first period under 1.5. No worries, Gucci man. Respect. You'll be out of town. So I'll say the first period under 1.5 is just right alongside that Ottawa Red Black Montreal Alouettes first half under. Rod Zawacki's birthday pick for you is that full game under 47.5. I'm on the first half under 24.5. Jose, what is your birthday pick for our guy Kuji Cam?
Giants money line. Let Willie Mays guide these Giants to a victory tonight.
Is it really the hockey game not tonight? Did I totally screw that up? Oh my God, it's Friday night. Why did I think they were trying to go Thursday and Saturday? Oh, that's hilarious. Drastically. I thought they were going to try to go Thursday and then have game 7 on Saturday night for Hockey Night in Canada. Oh, that's so funny. Somebody said the hockey game was on Friday. I think it was you, Kong's Clips. And I was like, no, it can't be right. Oh, that's so funny. That's so funny. At least we got our guy with the smaller MLB slate. That's so funny. My whole night ruined. That's so funny. Well, I guess I got the Birmingham baseball game. That's so funny. Friday, Monday. That's so funny. Justin says he's been confused for 3 hours. That's so funny. That's all me. I apologize. So we will, I guess, touch on it off the top of tomorrow's show, but not do the full cap. Okay, Jose Kuji Cam birthday pick.
The Giants and the Diamondbacks just scored 2, so 3-1 now.
Oh no.
Yeah, 3-1 fourth inning.
Oh. Sorry, you said. Oh no.
Yeah, they scored 2 on the hit I just saw. So 3-run fourth inning, 4-1 now. Yep. We're a little annoying there. And 3-2 Seattle with men threatening for them. And it seems like they just got out of it. Cleveland just got out of it. Yeah.
Wait, sorry. It's 3-1. Okay, 3-1.
3-1, sorry. Okay,
no worries. And 2-2 in Tampa Bay, Minnesota.
Yeah.
Jeez, so I need Mackenzie Gore to get out of this. Does he? Wow. Okay, that's fast. Seattle taking a 3-2 lead as well. Wow, heavy drama here. Heavy drama. So your birthday pick to Kuji Cam is
the Giants.
The Giants. Okay. All right, let's race. Jose, let's race, my friend. We are racing camels today. Camels. Mm-hmm. And we have 3 heats. Is that right?
3 heats. Yes. 3 heats is going to be a whole lot of fun. We appreciate everyone that's become members here recently. Heat 1 here. Big Show picks Eldorado Custodian, Zoe Faye, Oldie, Topset, Big Ragu, O'Brien Palmer, Ken Wood, Fernando Mendoza, Matty Ice, Joseph Thompson, Subhuman Gaucho, who I also shared the screen with recently. Nice guy. Shout out to him. Bo Jackson, Jarek White, Chris Boggin, Daby Cab, TJ, Johnny, Jimmy, Tori Coker, Iron Eagle, Juan Ruiz, and Rod Z. Now, Jimmy, I have to get my laptop charger because my laptop is going to die. So would you mind calling this whole race?
I don't mind at all. Good luck, everyone. Royce Lewis with the jack. Royce
God
Lewis
damn,
with
that
the jack.
guy. He hits home runs every fucking game. It's crazy.
He's rolling right now.
All
he
right.
is rolling. All right. Thank you so much to all of our gold members. Jose, I got this. So I'll see you back here in a second. Good luck, everybody. They are at the post. We're riding camels. Get ready for some spit in the face because we're riding camels. They're at the post. There they go. We are off and racing. Matty Ice firing out with Joe T. Also, Daby Cab. Daby Cab looking very strong aboard his camel. Zoe Faye. We got Jason Meyer, the Eldorado Custodian. And here comes Jimmy the Bag. Jimmy the Bag getting to the lead. Now, it's a little early, but this camel wants it. This camel's hung like a horse and wants it. Trying to find the finish line, but maybe blew his load a little too early. Big Ragu wants in on this, but the bag says no thank you. Here comes Bo Jackson. Bo Jackson, never seen a lime green camel before. Bo Jackson rolling quickly here and has come up beside Jimmy the Bag, but Jimmy the Bag is not going away. I spoke too quickly. Big Show Pick still holding the lead. Jarek White trying to get to the finish line. Who has late pace? Zoe Faye has late pace. Here comes Zoe. Zoe making a move to the front, which is saying lots of wacky. And Joe T with a huge move. Who's the top three? It is Joe T up first, and in second looks like Johnny Guns, and third Zoe. No, Johnny Guns got bucked by the system, man. Ooh, buck him down, Johnny Guns. That's tough luck. My eye test says you're second. The board says you're fourth. Joe T, Zoe Faye, and Jason Meyer making it to the finals here.
That hurts.
That was a great race. That was a great race.
I think my favorite part about this race is just the speed of these camels is so lifelike.
Yeah. The camels don't have a lot of wheels. They don't have a lot of wheels, but it's nice seeing them run. Them run.
It's also nice, I don't know if you guys can see this on your screens, but if you really squint, you can see the spit flying in their face very slowly.
They are not afraid to spit in your face, these camels. Not afraid at all. Jose, why don't you call this entire one? And then we'll be even up head to the final heat.
Sure. Well, heat deux here. Joey Harb, Kent Davies, Nuke Worker, Gerald Jones, Smoke and Mirrors, Sports Money, Nasty Nate, Nutflush Allen, Billy Friedrich, Donut Silks, Ricky Levine, Rez Mom, Director 97, Justin McKelvey, Ricky Bobby, Fanatical Jim, BT, Crystal Craig, Saturated, Jay Peasy, Joey Marinaccio, Kenny Can, and Little Domo rounds out our race here. We appreciate everyone that's in these races. Thank you, guys. That sweet, sweet sand in San Antonio is ready to race. We're off here in a brisk pace here. I didn't know that these are multiple colored camels. Who would have thought? Crystal Craig, Little Domo out in front. Donut Silks blew his load, and now he's falling back here. Joey Harb in the mix here. Crystal Craig, your cameo is feeling real nice right now. Nasty Nate, switching horses, switching camels. Who knows? Maybe this is his time to shine here. Crystal Craig, Jay Peasy. Oh, this is going to be an interesting finish here. I cannot wait to see who comes out on top here. 20 seconds left. By the way, Jimmy, I need the top three from that last race because I didn't write it down. So I need to find that top three here in a second. But Little Domo out in front. Crystal Craig's fading. Donuts Milk, Smoke and Mirrors at the bottom of your screen making a charge. Here comes Smoke and Mirrors crawling to the finish. And BT looks like he's in second. And with Director 97 Smoke and mirrors all the way on the camel's ass. It looks like he's about to fall off, but takes home the victory in this heat and qualifies to the last race.
We had Joey T, Zoe Faye, and Jason Meyer. Thank you, the Eldorado custodian in the first one. Smoke and Mirrors, BT, and Director 97 moving into the next round. Director 97 trying to join Joey Harb as our only two-time champion here. We move on to our final heat. Our final heat.
Oh boy, what an interesting last heat we have here for you guys. Let me show you guys this names. We have 24 participants here. Sharon Pulliam, Browns Hughes, Dutch Boy Fresh, Chosen One, J Dub, Jose Bouquet, Rob Free, Tehran, Coin, Skunt Blaster, Philly Eagle Flyer, Lexicon, The Hamburglar, Preston Ekdahl, Juan Chavez, TJ Parks, Ron Crawford, Connor McPix, Julian Cesario, Randall Sheffield, Sam Colmer, Jeff Slaughter, and rounding out the last heat, I'm that heat. So it's going to be a very fun race here, Jimmy. I'll start this one off. Take me home and please bring me this dub here today. Let's get into the finals. The sun is shining. It's a beautiful day, and the camels are racing here. Ron Crawford, Jeff, old Skunt Blaster, Sharon all up in the front right now. It's a long race. 45 seconds left. Connor McPix in here. Preston Ekdahl. Everyone should be rooting for Preston or Jeff right now to roll this money over if you're not in it. 35 seconds left. K-Wolf in the league, and my long-ass neck in the mix here, Jimmy.
Wow. As soon as we found out that you weren't going to roll the money over, your camel started moving backwards.
I also am going to roll it over. I forgot about that. Go, Camel. I'm rolling it over, Camel. Push.
K-Wolf trying to come home with it. We are getting down to the nitty-gritty. Browns Hughes trying to get it. Here comes Lexicon. Lexicon making this camel go, go, go. Sean pulling. And here comes Jeff Slaughter. Jeff Slaughter. Here comes Preston. That was unbelievable. Preston and Jose Bouquet got in.
Come on.
Wow. How did you beat Jeff Slaughter? How? Look at that. The eye test says you didn't. The board says you did. Excellent work.
Man, I love electronic boards. We spring for the good shit here, Jimmy. The electronic boards, the photo finishes, the whole thing.
Extremely impressive work from Preston Ekdahl, Lexicon, and Jose Bouquet. We have our final 9 and $50 on the board. Not only that, but 2 of our finalists are letting it roll over. So it's Skunt Blaster is nonplussed. Skunt Blaster is nonplussed here in our chat. Very, very upset. And I get it. I get it.
Yeah. Camel racing is not for the faint of heart.
No, camel racing is it just takes enormous balls. And for those of you, for women, enormous ovaries. That's what it takes to succeed in camel racing.
Only very few people can jump right into horse or camel races and win one of the Triple Crown legs, you know. Shout out to Jason Worth.
I mean, we're talking giant ovaries.
I'm not bulbous even.
Sure. Bulbous ovaries or huge balls to succeed in camel racing. We are down to our final 9. Jose Bouquet in the post 1, Lexicon 2, Preston Ekdahl 3, Jason Meyer, the Eldorado custodian in the 4th, Zoe Faye 5th, Joe T 6th, Director 97, a 2-time champ 7th, BT and Smoke and Mirrors.
I hate to break it to you, Jimmy. Director 3-time champ.
What? Really?
3-time. Yeah, I noticed that on our video, the intro videos. 3-time.
Wow.
Champion.
So I thought he won back-to-back, but he won again another time. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So that means that Director 97 looking to become our first 4-time champ. So it's only him and Joey Harb that are 3-time champs.
Yeah, it's gonna be. This is gonna be very interesting to see what happens here.
Well,
all right, ladies and gents. I hope you guys have brought your big boy britches today because we're racing camels here, and it's a beautiful day to do it. We're off and racing here. Who wants the $50 here today. Will that be rolled over? Will Director 97 claim a fourth championship here today? Let us find out. BT starting out in the front here. That's not the best idea, BT. I don't know if you and your camel jockey talk strategies here. Smoke and mirrors right behind him in the one lane. Who's coming home with this victory? That Jose Bouquet just buying his time, Jimmy. Buying his time.
Could be late pace Bouquet's opportunity to shine. Joe T also moving forwardly. Smoke and Mirrors and BT are not. We are moving down to our final furlong here, and Joe T has a slight lead. Jose still in this, and here
Push it, son of a bitch.
Jose
Push it,
Bouquet,
son of a bitch.
along with Lexicon, the two head to head. But here's
No.
the Eldorado custodian blowing past them both, and here comes Zoe Faye. But it is Jason Meyer, the El Dorado custodian, for the victory. Very, very impressive. Jose, I thought it was your chance. I thought it was your time to shine. I am a one-time champion, and it feels great. I hope that someday you know what that feels like, because it's a tremendous feeling. You know.
Yeah,
You're
I
muted.
I would
Oh,
know
there
what
you
it feels like. Oh, there we go. See, I'm glad. I was like, thank God I'm not muted. But this is the camel races. Maybe they're not for me. We'll find out a winning strategy one day.
Yes, we believe in you. It will happen. It will happen. It will happen. Excellent work, Jose, and excellent work to Jason Meyer, the El Dorado custodian, with the victory. Let's review all action and put a bow on this show.
Wow, TJ's last comment in the chat. I mean, he's having a nice day right now. I'm sure he's enjoying his day. He says, that feeling of the sweet flap of skin being licked. Winning this race feels better. We all know that feeling.
That was beautifully put, TJ. Beautifully put. It is 1-0 Astros. 1-0 Astros in the first inning. And we are close to getting out of the top of the fifth. Again, the first five under hanging in the balance. Let's review action one final time here. We have Liberty first quarter -4.5 from Jose. We're only going to talk about games that haven't been played yet. Ottawa, Montreal, first half under 24.5, and I'm very close to moving on both the Alouettes first half and full game. Stanley Cup final is tomorrow, so we'll do that again. I don't know why. I was certain. We have for games that have yet to start, we have Jose on the Rockies team total over 4.5. Lit picks Kansas City first 5 run line and full game run line. We have Cabby on the Royals first 5 -0.5. TJ on Lugo to win, and I'm very close to the first 5 under 4 unless I sweep the board. And look at that, Alvarez homer. Jordan Alvarez homer, Daby Cab rolling. Look at there he is.
Good job.
Great stuff.
Great job, Jabby.
Then we have Stacks play the day going for his 11th straight win. Yankees team total over. Omicron also on the Yankees. Ribeye play of the day, Mountcastle RBI. Jose's on the San Francisco Giants. Razor Sharp picks on San Francisco Giants. Jose's also on the under 9 at -110. Your grandma's wearing your sister's panties again. Play today, Milwaukee in the under 8.5 at +300. Then Milwaukee, San Diego. Cab on the first 5 over. TJ on the full game over. And Jose on the San Diego Padres. Thank you guys so much for all that you do for us, man. Truly, truly thank you guys. Dabra Cadabra. Jason Meyer, our champ, our winner, $50 richer. Jason Meyer, all you have to do is email us at pubsportsradio@gmail.com. TJ, Kelly, McInnes, I'm That Heat, Morgan Spooner, Rod Zawacki, the Skunt Blaster, Ashram Polium, DC Capper, TJ, Anonymous User, AOD, Old E, the Dapper Capper. Thank you to Rod Zawacki for the gifting the Pub Sports Radio membership. Means a ton to us. Benjamin Mills, Kong's Clips, Coogee Cam, have a great birthday tomorrow, and you as well, Justin McKelvey, but we'll celebrate that tomorrow. I'll have that on the top of my worksheet. Swiggy, Jeffrey Moore, Too Legit, all of you guys, thank you so much. Ron Crawford, who cashed the WNBA play of the day. Thank you to all of you guys. Truly.
So, or a shitload of people just doing the Too Legit thing you did earlier? Was that everyone? That was You guys
too
were all
legit,
just
too legit to quit, man. And
Nah.
you picked it up because of those of us who were kids when Full House was on. Because Full
Sure.
House, you say what? I forget what you used to say. You say something stupid. I forget, but he said something stupid, and then Too Legit to Quit came out, and yeah. What was the Danny Tanner? Not Danny Tanner. What's his name? The guy who the comedian. Well, not that Danny Tanner wasn't a comedian, but what was his Get It? What was it? Cut It Out. Thank you. Cut it out. Yeah, cut it out. God, it was horrible.
And by the way, shout out to our guy Jason Meyer. Roll it over. $100.
Really?
$100.
Wow! Look at our
Horse race
guy
tomorrow.
El Dorado, $100 race tomorrow. Thanks to El Dorado. I'll have all these notes written down. I love it. Let's get a strikeout here, Mackenzie. Give me a strikeout. Please give me a strikeout. Come on,
And
buddy.
my computer is on the fritz right now, Jimmy. So you have to hit the button today because my
wow.
buttons are not working. So
Oh.
you close. I know what you might close the program with, but I have no control anymore. This is your program. Look at her abs.
Oh yeah.
Those gotta be real.
Oh yeah.
Has to be, right?
Oh, it must be
That's definitely real.
real.
Maybe
Real.
Whatever.
Real.
We all knew that though.
Thank you guys. So, and this is what I was trying to find was just DJ. That's all I was trying to find, but instead I found some beautiful.
You found a
stuff.
new treasure trove.
I love what you're doing. You're just doing such a hell of a job at producing here. To all of you guys, thank you so much for your support. Let's go out there and get that cash. Big day. God, give me one out, Mackenzie. Come on, full count, Mackenzie. Come on. We need to leche. This is a lecheria. Come on, buddy. Come on, Mackenzie. Give me that strikeout right here. Oh, foul ball. I can't. We can't end the show. I need this strikeout here. I need it.
Go ahead. I can't end the show, so this is all on you.
Come on, Mackenzie. You son of a bitch. We believe in you, man. You take that deep breath. Look at this. Touch the rosin. You're in your zone. You're feeling good. Don't worry about that runner on second. Come on.
Richard Pryor wouldn't worry about it.
Come on, Mackenzie. Oh, he cut the. Oh, he fouled it. I thought, oh, God. Come on, Mackenzie. I know this doesn't give me the win, but there's a runner on second. Get me to the bottom of the fifth.
We need it.
Come on, Mackenzie. Come on, Monsieur Gore. Come on, buddy.
Monsieur.
Get
Oui,
me
oui.
home, Mackenzie. Come on, buddy. Come on, dude. And that is a walk. Good God. Just
Good
they're
luck,
never
everyone.
easy. They're never easy. Oh, watch it. Hey, los bookmakers. Roll that shit. I like that shit. And smoke it. Smoke it. Please.
Pub Sports Radio's the crew, that's a fact. We all about bread, making bank accounts fat. Who the hell is that? LJ from the H, I stack green like Boston. Shout out to Nasty Nate from down south, where we ride on slab. 420 highway smoking with that boy Daby Cab. Swing by Dallas with them Cowboy fans so we can smoke out J Money, cause you know that's our mans. Us against the bookies, put money in our pockets. Fly out to Vegas, meet up with Ski Profit. Hit the sports books, we got money to stack. Can't forget them college picks with that boy Conor Mack.